Hey, ladies of the Dabbleverse, I'm good at eating pussies.
Mumbling Nick in the back room, Clary. Cool pineapples rolls too straight to bear. If this he said cake, you've got some flair. Time to break the chains and take the air. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Interviews roll, stories unfold. Mumbling no more, his voice turns bold. Mr. C cheers from the sidelines cold. A pineapple left in the cold. Now the studio's his, the future bright. Nick's own podcast is guiding light. No more whispers, his tone takes flight. He's soaring now with all his might. Yeah!
Taz, if you want me to go down on you, I will. I'll try my best. Yeah, try my best. That's all I can do. It's all I can do, Taz. Hey, what's up? It's like, what is it? Like 11 something p.m. I've been I think I first put this up like a week ago. What the fuck? 8 days ago. How's it going, Frank? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. So I don't expect, I put this off so many times. Everybody's live right now. It's late, but I just want to get this out of the way. Not out of the way. I want to do this. This is actually a stream I wanted to do. Because I my little thing was, was trying to get on Stuttering John's political show. It was the first thing I ever tried doing in this Dabbleverse. And it led to a bunch of not so great things, but it took, and I still never got on his political show, don't get me wrong, but during John's final week before he left the Dabbleverse again, I got on that Monday, and Thursday was his last show, so I was on one of his final 4 shows ever. Link. I actually could have got on the last show too. I thought about it, but something came up with my youngest kid, so I rather do that. As we all should. We all should rather spend time with our kids than go on any of these fucking dumb streams. But what a friend of mine put in the thumbnail, because I don't have that skill, is Steve Grillo. I went on Steve Grillo's show, and then like a week later, I went on Stuttering John's. And I was gonna kind of compare the two. Now instead, I'm mostly just gonna watch John's, and maybe I'll go over the Grillo stuff another time. There's not much to that one. I do appreciate a friend getting me on there and everything, but I don't have a history with Grillo. And he had no idea who I was. So the John thing I think was more interesting. They did both get clipped, but I think the Grillo clip is behind somebody's paywall. I forget who clipped it, but what I plan on doing is, and I'm gonna rev it up to 1.25 or 1.5 speed, but I'll watch a good chunk of Liquid Cryptid clipped my appearance on Stuttering John's podcast, and then I'll stop it at a certain point, and pick up where WATP covered one certain section, which I thought was probably one of the most interesting sections. So I'll cover their thing, and then we'll end it. But I kind of wanted to explain like why I did certain things, why I said certain things, why I didn't say certain things. I got a good amount of compliments from it because I pushed back without getting kicked off, which is not easy. I know some people thought I should have just fucking went full scorched earth on John, and I'll explain why I wasn't going to do that. Yeah, I said certain things, and didn't say other certain things. Mr. Brent Monkhouse, how we doing? But anyway, yeah, I'll take it as it comes. So we'll start off with let me bring up my old dabbling in politics co-host stream here, video, whatever you want to call it, Liquid Cryptid. So yeah, we'll put this at a little faster speed. Let's go, Johnny.
Yeah, baby. How are you, everybody?
Maybe we can even do 1.5.
Let's go!
Let's try 1.5. Let's see. All right.
When I drink protein, I drink Boost. Just gonna go to the gym today, but I said, fuck it.
Fuck it, Johnny.
I might not even go until after I leave, because why fuck, I have added things. As soon as I leave, I'll have plenty of free time, and I can devote it to my body, keep my body young. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had my ups and downs with this next guest. He once claimed to be in my mother's neighborhood.
Oh boy.
And it did look like my mother's neighborhood, to which I thoroughly believe this individual. But I'm going to give him a chance here. Now, Ava and Jerry has vouched for him. So here goes nothing. OG Mumbling Nick.
Holy shit, Johnny, it finally happened. How you doing, brother?
Whoa. Apparently I talk a lot faster than John does. All right, we'll put it down to 1.25. Sounded like I was on fucking speed there. Real quick. I'm not gonna bore anybody who watches this later or whatever, or anyone watching it now. With the going to John's mother's house thing. I've explained that to death on my channel. I've explained it to John, and look, I don't know what John's mother's whole neighborhood looks like, right? I have no idea, right? I know what her house area looks like because it was on fucking it was on the Tonight Show. They did a Behind the Stutter, like parody of Behind the Music, where they showed it. And from what I could tell, it looked absolutely nothing like where I was. As I told John, I was on a very steep hill. I labeled the video parody. It's clearly parody. It's goofy, schlocky, fucking awful shit. I tagged John in it, and I used it to try and get on his political show. So, I find it hard to believe that he ever really thought I was at his mother's house. I don't know, but he claims he did, so there it is.
Good. Don't porn bomb me.
John, zero chance. Zero. I don't even know how to porn bomb motherfuckers. No idea.
What state are you in?
Massachusetts.
There you go.
Right off the bat.
So, now, there's a lot that we have to talk about. The first thing I want to ask you is, a friend of mine was completely under the impression that it was you. What was the thing I was mad at you about?
All right. So the first thing was you thought I went to your mother's house, but you may have forgotten. We actually got over that quick because that was literally my neighborhood in Mass. Like I didn't show any houses. I was on a steep hill. And let me just say, I did it as a joke to try and get on your political show, John. I don't know if you remember. My whole thing was I used to ask you if I could come on your political show. So I made that video. It was right after you went to Melton's house and KB's house. So I did a parody of what you did. Like at one point, I was even like when you went to when you went to KB's, right? You were like, KB's doorman doesn't know who Kevin Brennan is, but he knows who Stuttering John is. So I went, Stuttering John's mailman doesn't know who Stuttering John is, but he knows who. Like it was a total parody. I never thought I listened to this parody. I never thought anyone was going to take it seriously. And I
Good
just
to
said,
see
John,
ya.
come out and talk politics with me. It was stupid. It's retarded. It's a dumb video, but I was doing it
I
to
know,
try to get
I
on your
knew
political show.
something else that you were doing. Somebody's.
Well,
I-
the thing,
All right. So yeah, I explained that whole thing. And what I always found funny too is I did a parody of something that John actually did. And I swear to God, I got more shit for it than like what John actually did. Like John, don't like John. He actually went to people's homes. He did it multiple times. I never did that. I did a parody of John going to somebody's house.
the thing you bet on about the the two, whatever you said, the two Vietnamese prostitutes or whatever.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that about? Is that you who said that?
So that was me, but I didn't say what you said. I said that's the big. I can send you what I actually said if you want. John.
No. Just tell me, because I bet.
All right. So at the time, you were like, I got this mole, and he's telling me all this stuff on Nick, and the stuff was not true. So I was like, John, I got the same mole as you, and it was a joke. And I was like, told me you may or may not have had a prostitute in Atlantic City who may or may not have been underage or something like that.
Yeah, but that's what I bet Ava on. So now you gotta pay up.
No. You said there were two that you.
Yeah, so John bet Ava and he stressed this, that I really accused him of graping two underage Vietnamese girls. It was crazy. Shit I never said. As mad as I got at John, I never said anything fucking like that. And you know, I regret making the stupid joke about John, but this was after weeks and weeks of John threatening to dox me over shit that fake Mumbling Nick accounts were saying to him, and he knew they were fake. Clay blocked the fake accounts to try and make it stop, and then John took Clay's wrench away. You know, so that because he wanted the super chats, he admitted it, he wanted the money coming from the fake Mumbling Nick account. So, and then John made all these accusations that I was working with Shuli. I work with TSN, so I was a pedophile enabler, all these awful things. And he kept saying his mole, allegedly, my mole's telling me. So I did a little my mole thing with him and said something about him having and I've said this before, being in New England, our football coach, Robert Kraft, got caught with fucking like Asian prostitutes down in Florida where John is. And that's where I got the whole idea from. And it was just a joke. And it wasn't nearly as bad as John made it out to be. And yeah, I was just trying to explain that to him here. But I thought we were going to talk more about this stuff. This is pretty much the only time it comes up. I think the going to his mother's house, he brings it back up again at some point. But I wanted more time to explain to him how he was wrong with everything and how he drew first blood and how I still never went after his family and all this stuff. But I was a little naive in that part. John, he wanted to be right. He wasn't right on it, but so he wanted to push past it and then just kind of have a regular show. And I've said a million times, I'm not the guy for John to have on a regular show, because I can't do he wants, you know, isn't it funny? Isn't it strange? I can't just sit there and agree with him or anybody, not just John. I can't just sit there and pretend to agree with somebody if I don't agree with them. And that's what he wants. And I just can't do that. Like the other person I stream with, I stream with two people, Liquid Cryptid and Eckle Pineapple, and we disagree all the time. And I think it makes it more entertaining. It makes it more interesting at the very least. And yeah, so I guess I did get some compliments for disagreeing with John, but I was just honest. When I agree with him during this, I tell him I agree, and when I disagree, I tell him I disagree.
Did you grape them? That I really accused you? It was a total joke, John. I said it was a joke afterwards.
I didn't take it as a joke.
But you added all this stuff to it that I never said to make it 1,000 times worse. That's all, man.
No, but it's like Pocky. Then he followed your lead and then literally said he knows as a fact I raped somebody in Vegas.
Right.
And I'm like, that he's worried about defamation. That's defamation.
So somebody told you I was working for Shuli and was going to porn bomb you. I'll tell you this. I have talked to Shuli since. I hadn't even talked to Shuli before that. You called me like a pedophile enabler and all this stuff. So I responded with that. So I didn't like just come out and say it, John. I was kind of responding to it. There was two fake Mumbling Nick accounts. I don't know if you remember at the time, and they were super chatting you all this awful shit. And Clay blocked them, and that was what got the whole thing kicked off.
There you go. Slobbering moron. God joke. Lady K says Stern stamp loves shit way. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. First of all, there's no fucking way that anyone from the Stern Show is going to be up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, get through that whole fucking 20-minute intro to sit and watch Shitway or watch me. Sorry. Lady K, you're so fucking delusional. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I doubt, not taking sides on this, but I doubt anyone on Stern is watching any of this shit. Or most of them are. Maybe some of the lower level people. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I could see maybe J.D. Harmeyer.
Yeah, I doubt like Howard or any of those fucking guys.
Yeah, I can see Harmeyer maybe fucking, because I never got along with him, so maybe he would like it. But besides that, I don't know, Yeah. But
I felt like I was dying during this part. I was like, oh man, this is gonna turn into one of those regular shows, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Luckily, it goes on quickly to like other topics where I can politely disagree with John. And let me just get that part out of the way. For some, like I said, a lot of people like that I did that, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people thought I should have gone scorched earth and got booted off after like 5 minutes. So, number one, it's not my style, to be honest. I'm not. I am for the most part, a very calm communicator, debater. Sure, I can lose it here and there like anybody else, and I have. But overall, I'm pretty like even keeled when it comes to that stuff. And I think that helps when you're having debate or discussion or disagreements. If you just start yelling at somebody, it's not going to work. Second, and here's the big part is this whole thing was based around John was getting bad information on me, saying that I was a bad guy, that I was going to do all these awful things to him, blah blah blah. And over 18 months or so, whatever, the people that were closest to him, most of them, vouched for me, stuck up for me, like Clay Dabler and Rob Saul did like a year ago, back when they were, on John's list. And now Jerry and Ava were backing me up this time. And whatever you guys think of any of them, I am not going to fuck over somebody who vouches for me, who, sticks up for me, whatever. And also, if I did do that, then I would have proved all the trolls right. Because the trolls were telling John that I was this bad guy that was going to fuck with his channel. So if I went out there and just screamed at John and fucked with him, then they would have been right that I was John could have played the card that I was this bad guy. So I had to, I was just myself, which I think is a fairly decent person, and thankfully, I don't know if Ava probably did too, but I know Jerry definitely told John that, I wasn't going to agree with everything, that there was going to be some polite disagreement. So John was aware that I wasn't coming on to ball wash or just to agree with him. So he kind of knew ahead of time. And that's how I wanted to do it. And whatever, topics came up, I just go with it. How go with the flow, as they say. So that's what I did.
All right. Well, so you're a political guy, so you are in the middle, right?
No, so I'm more of a lefty. I don't like either party. I think you called me a Bernie bro at one point.
Brent,
I'm more of those types. I don't trust anyone in the government. But no,
yeah, like I said, this part is where I was like, I skipped. I'm gonna skip over this part. Like the two parts that WATP covered were that quick part, and then when we talked about John's drinking. And yeah, I'm not aware if they are or not. I know Shuli says some do. That was the first topic that John Rank got to after we stopped talking about, our little history. So yeah, I think I had a little panic moment there. Not like a panic moment, but I wasn't knowledgeable enough in that area. And I don't think like Howard or fucking Robin or, or Fred and shit or fucking Baba Booey are watching. Some other people, sure. people that Shuli's friends with, probably, and I try to convey that afterwards, but you're too good of a guy for the verse. Well, thank you. I don't think there's actually a lot of good people here. I think we need, I don't know how to say this. I like diversity. Like I had once said in the Dabbleverse, especially when John leaves, which he left again, and the Dabbleverse is getting a lot bigger and it's definitely expanded. But it can't have people just doing the same shit over. Like I know there's a bunch of people that troll. It's not my thing. Now, if they want to do it and people want to watch it, I mean, that's their right. As long as I think there are lines people shouldn't cross. But troll away. There's actually a lot of trolls that I really like, that I think are funny, even when they're trolling me. All right, Brent, you could be right. You could be right. But anyway, that was one of the ones I was going to give John off the bat because I didn't know. I knew there was going to be a lot more disagreements coming up. So that one didn't mean that much to me.
My values are more progressive than, like, that's how I met Ava. Ava and I used to do political streams together all the time. So
what did Jimmy Kimmel say? My friend brought this up. So what did he say? That
God, this part sucked too, right? Because I'm just saying, like, talking about the political shit. And for anyone that did watch the political streams I did with Liquid Cryptid, we actually didn't really talk about, we don't like the mainstream media and all that stuff. So we never really talked about like the Jimmy Kimmel shit. I think we covered Jimmy Kimmel once briefly when Trump booted him off, but it was more like a high level thing. So I don't pay that much attention to that shit because I don't think it's important. Like I think like policy is important, like cost of living, healthcare, fucking rent, wages, stuff like that. What some fucking celebrity said on a fucking late night show, I don't really care. But I did see a headline, but I didn't read the article, so I didn't know what the fuck he said. So I was like, great, John's gonna bring up something new in the political world that just came out that I heard about, but don't know what the fuck it is. So
he's getting all this heat for.
Shit. Recently, yeah, I don't know. I didn't even see. I saw Trump saying he should be fired again, but I didn't even pay attention to what he said this time.
Apparently, he says that
Melania
is glowing like a widow or something like that. I don't know, something like that. But Apar, did you see Danny's wife comment about you? Who? Hitman Dan's?
Yeah,
you mean the
Hitman
lawyers?
Dan.
I don't care.
Fucking dummy.
I never said one bad thing. That's so funny.
By the way, Young Old Vibes, they just came out with the new NFL schedules for next year. Easiest schedule in terms of like winning percentage from last year, your Houston Texans. How'd you pull that off? How the fuck did you pull that off?
I never said one bad thing about their attorney or his wife. Meanwhile, these guys they dragged my attorneys through the fucking mud.
Yeah, I mean they're doing their jobs, John. They got to represent their client. Your guys got to represent you.
No, Nick.
Yeah.
Danny's wife, the lawyer that is representing Lady K and Shitware,
yeah,
is won the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, I heard that.
For taking down Jerry Sandusky.
Yep.
The first time I ever brought her up, I said, because Lucy Tightbox seems to be in love with this guy, Danny. And I just said, oh.
All right, so we'll listen to what I say. I think I know what I tried saying here, and I don't think I conveyed it that well. I think John cut me off. John cuts me off a few times during this whole thing, so I don't think I get out what I wanted to say. What I tried saying, because John's going to make the claim that, like, multiple times, I think, that he was complimenting Danny's wife. She's a beautiful woman. He's a good-looking guy. She's famous. She's been on CNN. She took down Jerry Sandusky. That's a good thing. He's acting like he gave her all these compliments, which he did give her compliments, but we all know the reason he brought her up was to be like, hey, Danny, I know who your fucking wife is. It was like a mafia type thing. Like, I don't think he hates Danny, but obviously he's not a big fan of Danny in this whole thing because Danny's going against him and his lawyers. So it's not like, it's like he does the same thing with KB's wife. Oh, your wife's beautiful. It's like, I put a picture. Yeah, dude, but you're putting a picture of another man's wife up. You're letting him know that I know who your wife is, and I'm going to let everyone else know who your wife is, so fucking watch it. I just think it's a dick fucking move. This is one of the things I hate the most about the Dabbleverse. Stuttering John is far from the only person guilty of this shit, but he does it a lot, way too much. Leave people, dude. You got a problem with Shuley, go after Shuley. You got a problem with Kyle, go after Kyle. You got a problem with me, go after me. Don't go after anybody's wives. Don't go after anybody's kids. Don't even bring them up. Don't even mention them, right? Yes, people fuck with your mother and your ex-wife, and it's fucking terrible. They shouldn't do it either, dude. And that's something I try to stress throughout this whole fucking thing.
Too bad, Lucy. Danny's got a beautiful wife, you know. I mean, and she's very smart and successful. I never said anything bad about Danny's wife.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up,
I'm just gonna
Krishan?
be
Good to
straight,
see you,
I
brother.
don't like when people bring anyone's wives or kids into any of this stuff. So
No, well, I'm going to be straight with you. She's more famous than her husband.
no, I get that. I get that.
And she took down Jerry Sandusky. She did a good thing.
She did. Absolutely.
And she had.
Oh my god, the whole Vrabel fucking thing right now is insane. It's like a fucking soap opera. What I wonder, get back on topic in a second. I wonder if it's worse for his wife. Like, I wonder, I was talking to my wife about this. I'm like, you know, when we saw Vrabel play for a good chunk of his career, you know, and he came over from the Steelers over the Patriots and shit. And I was saying she was probably worrying when he was a player that he's, you know, he goes on the road, he's in his 20s and 30s, maybe he's banging groupies in these cities or whatever. Now that he's like 50 and a coach, she probably didn't worry about it. But it turns out he's been banging this fucking reporter for at least fucking 6 years at this fucking point. And I wonder if that, and it's like a woman roughly his age. It's not like some young bimbo. So there's some relationship there. I wonder if that's even worse for her. Like, he probably actually likes this fucking chick. It's not just like a fucking piece of ass for him. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna survive this fucking thing. Like, shit just keeps coming out. More pictures, more videos, more shit every fucking day.
Has been commended. She's not some fucking unknown person, Nick. What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right. I just think people do that. They throw like, it's almost like throwing the
You mean
red
like
meat
you
out
do
there.
it to my mother?
John, I defended your mother and your
My
kids a
mother's
1,000
not
times.
famous, Nick.
100%. I don't think anyone should fuck with your mother. I've said.
Yeah, this part, like, John tried to lump me in with everybody else. Well, not everybody else. John tried to lump me into the people that go after his mother. And it's like, John, it's fucking awful they go after your mother. Look, even nobody should be calling a fucking lady in her 80s like a million times on the phone and having, like, look, I don't know if I believe the story that she hurt herself getting a delivery or whatever. Because John has her walk up and down the stairs and bringing him shit when he's there. But it's still not right. People shouldn't be calling the house on Christmas. None of this stuff. To anybody's mother, anybody's wife, anybody's kids. And John's trying to scream at me like I condone that, and I fucking don't. Like, I could have I didn't come with receipts, but I have plenty of receipts. I think I even showed Jerry. I have plenty of old tweets from like people when I'm defending John's fucking mother, John's oldest child, shit like that, getting shit for it. So yeah, John's got the wrong guy with that. He has like a set playbook that he uses, and he's trying to use it against me, but I don't fit the mold. That I'm not one of these guys that does this shit.
Said that a million times, man. In fact, the first time I ever got threatened, it was by a TSN fan because I defended you against
Beats
Rocco
the fuck out of
with
me,
your kid and
Krishan.
shit.
He's a fucking.
So-
That motherfucker. I hope I run into that fucking guy. I mean, that guy. Oh my lord.
Oh shit, hold on.
That. Oh.
So this was like, I'm not gonna lie, this I must not have done this very well. This, I'm being honest, this is pulling the curtain back. This was the first time during this interview appearance, whatever you want to call it, where I did take a little jab at John. And he didn't pick up on it, and I don't think anybody did. I'll back it up. I bring up to him that, and this is true, the very first time I was ever threatened and had one of my kids threatened was by a TSN fan like 2 years ago. Because I was he threatened one of my kids when I defended John's kid, and threatened me when I criticized Rocco for doing for saying that shit to John about his does your son ever queef in your face type thing. And I literally say to John here, like, dude, I don't know how you didn't punch him in the face. And I this is where John loses me, because if he's that mad and cares that much about his kid, he should have. And he uses the excuse, well, there's security there, I would have got kicked out of the hotel. Fair enough, all true. Those are all valid reasons not to get in a fight as a grown fucking man. But in the moment, like this is where I am. Like, I'm a very calm person. I don't fucking, you won't see me scheduling fights. I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna fucking try and fight someone at a public place and get kicked out. None of that. But I have a very short protective fuse. And if somebody said that to my face about something about one of my kids, there's a chance I would have popped them, right? That's the one time you would do it. You don't schedule a fight because someone insulted your kid. You don't go, come outside. You do it in the moment. And in the moment, John ran. And then he claims he would challenge him to go outside and all that stuff. Well, that makes me think it didn't upset you as much as you claim, because you were able to walk away and calmly try to get them to go outside to make it look, you know what I mean? Like, if you're that upset about it, you just fucking, you do something. Push him, fuck you, anything. But he ran away. He ran away. And I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he just ran away with that.
In fact, the first time I ever got threatened, it was by a TSN fan, because I defended you against Rocco with your kid and shit.
He's a fucking
So-
that motherfucker. I hope I run into that fucking guy. I mean, that guy. Oh my lord. Just let me know.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't punch him right there, John. You had him. Should have done it.
Because here's the problem. I'm inside a casino. There's security everywhere.
I got you.
So I said, let's go outside. The pussy boy that he was, he refused because he's a big fucking pussy boy.
Pussy boy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Nick. Didn't you see me go? No, no, because he turned the camera on and
No, nobody saw it, John, because none of that's on camera. What's on camera is him, you two posing, Rocco asking you if your son ever queefed in your face. He laughs and you run off out of view. And I get, all right, you don't want to pose with the guy. I get it. You realize you're getting punked. Totally get it. You're not going to sit there and pose with him. But, I mean, push him. Yell at him. Get in his face. Something. Your natural reaction was to walk away. And then we hear the story about you challenging him to go outside. I don't know if it's true or not. I'll even take your word that it probably is true, John. But he's not going to go outside and fight you. Like, that was the moment. I'm not saying it's right to hit him, but if you're not going to hit him in that moment, then stop the scheduled fighting stuff. Like, that's just fucking lame. Grown men don't schedule fights. Meet me after school by the fucking swing set. Like, that's what you're doing. No. You get caught up in the moment. Like, any fight I've ever gotten in as a grown man or had to be separated from was like in the fucking moment. You know, I don't fucking schedule it for fucking later because I worry about getting in trouble. You don't worry about getting in trouble when you're that fucking heated and protective.
everybody was around me. I said, come on, me and you, let's go outside right now. And he wouldn't. Just like Fatty Patty. When you see how Fatty Patty shit his pants when I was like, come on, motherfucker. And then he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All these guys, Nick, I'll tell you right now, all these guys think they're fucking like, you know, because they all hide behind their computers. But as soon as they run into me, they all crumble.
Well, I heard OJ liked you. So you got that.
Yeah.
Now he's gone.
I really like that guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why is $2 Dan and Dr. Chow so infatuated with you?
So I saw John's eyes go down there. So I'm wondering who messaged him there. I'm guessing. I have no proof, but I'm guessing it was Dan, because like Dan's the one that goes on. Let me see what I say here. I don't even remember what the fuck I say, because I usually don't even acknowledge this whole situation.
Me? So basically, one time I said I prefer guys who tell their honest opinion, and I named Echo Pineapple, who's a friend of mine, and NJ Ranger, and next thing I know, Chow, and then all of a sudden I was like, I don't care. Like, they do these trolling videos on people. I could give a fuck. Knock yourself up, you know.
All right. Yeah, I didn't really explain it there either. Like I said, I usually don't talk about it for anyone who cares. I think the only I never talked to like Mir in my life. Dan, I never had an. I was on streams with him in the past. I know his shtick, the contrarian thing. Again, it's not my thing, but he's very good at it. Chow was the only one I ever got into anything with in a chat before, and it was just the usual because I'm not into his brand of trolling. It's not my thing, and I think I did a live stream once where I was covering. Towards the end of it, I was covering what's her face? She was here earlier. Hold on, I should look. Ashley. Sorry, I was covering Ashley Cummings, who was on Mir and Must show there, and I said that I prefer people who give their honest opinion on things rather than people who troll. And I was like, I used, like as I said there, Echo Pineapple and NJ Ranger as examples, and I kind of use like Mir, Musk, and Dan as the other thing, because I said I prefer knowing people's honest opinions. That's all I said, because that's how I feel. I when like someone like Chow gives you his opinion, there's a 90% chance it's not his real opinion. Sure, sometimes I'm sure it's honest, but most of the time it's just he plays a character and they do this whole thing. So I can't get into it with John in this short period of time how they're playing characters, they're into this trolling thing. I'm not into it. So then they have an issue with me. I don't watch their shows. I don't care. Let them do what they want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. That's it. That's something John doesn't seem to like pick up. That you can just do your own thing, John. You don't have to worry about what Shitway is doing or fucking Pocky and all this stuff. Just do your own fucking thing. Ignore what they're doing. That's all you got to do.
So, Nick, how old are you?
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, so were you a Stern fan?
Yeah. I went. I was never a massive fan, but I always had friends that loved Stern. So I used to in the '90s. I remember you used to stay up and watch the fucking E Show and all that stuff. And then in the 2000s when I was on Sirius XX, I would listen a little bit on the way to work and shit. But yeah, I was a Stern.
What do you think about the Shitway?
Sorry, Sirius XM. I think I said Sirius XX and I said E Show. But yeah, when I was it the early '90s? The early '90s, Stern used to be on in my area like at fucking midnight with all these like lesbians and Snapple commercials. And I remember I was like in fucking junior high watching the shit with my buddy. And then I got in, of course, I love the fucking Private Parts movie. I had a friend that was in the Stern, so he got me into it. And then I worked with guys that were in the Stern during the serious years and shit, like in the aughts, like the 2002 to 2000 whatever 8. So I haven't listened to Stern in a long time, but I wasn't a mega fan like some of these people are. Like Clay Dabbler's a huge fan. Ab is a huge fan. I was never like that, but I was a casual fan.
Like going on a show, like, and I don't have the exact verbiage, but saying something to the effect of, because my last show's on Thursday.
Yeah.
And he's saying, John, don't worry, I'm gonna fucking still come. I'm gonna get people to come to your gigs, and I'll still be able to fucking get shit from you. I mean, get a fucking life. Get a new idea, Shitway. You fucking parasite. Like, I mean, this guy can't get a new idea, Nick. I leave this whole thing, and he's still gonna fucking be involved with me.
So, I once said they told you to leave, and then when you left, they kind of incentivize people to secretly record you and all that stuff. And Echo Pineapple and we spoke out on his show. We spoke out against that. We thought that was awful. I don't think anyone has to change their show just because someone tells them, do whatever you want on your show. But if you tell someone to leave, like when someone leaves this universe, leave them the fuck alone.
Exactly.
Once they leave them alone. So.
Exactly. And that's all I'm asking because, quite frankly.
Yeah, so I was honest there. Where on both counts, where I don't think John has a right to. Well, he has a right to suggest that Shuley changes his show, but Shuley doesn't have to change his show. Nobody has to change their show because somebody's like, don't you got another idea? Why do you got to do a clip show? Or why do you got to do this on your show? Or why you got to name your show that? Like, nobody has to like change their shit because like somebody pressures them to, But on the other hand, I do think whatever you think of John, they told him to leave. I'm talking like when he left for 8 months. This last time, the second time there, and he tried doing fucking stand up gigs. He tried doing like those fucking what do you call them? Not seminars, but those fucking I can't think of the word. Um, yeah, he tried doing. You go there and you sign pictures and all that stuff. He tried doing all that fucking stuff. He even went on dates, and people secretly recorded him and all that stuff. And Shuley had him on. They were definitely incentivized. They knew if they secretly recorded John, they would get on the show. And I actually think that's kind of low, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. I watched a good amount of it, but I don't think it was right. You told the guy to leave, he left. Granted, John always kept one toe in the water, especially on like X and stuff. But yeah, let him. If John if John leaves, well, he did leave, but if he stays gone, don't be secretly recording shit with him. Like I understand. I think I even told John this. I totally understood why he was paranoid with me, because so many people fucked with him. I don't know why he was paranoid with me for so long, because so many people he trusted told him there was nothing to worry about with me, but I did get the original paranoia.
Frankly, Nick, I stayed way too long. I left for 16 months, but I don't want, it's gotten so bad now. Look what they're doing to Vegas Beer Sells Jerry now.
Yeah.
They're fucking harassing his whole family. All because of that fucking idiot fucking Gunga Din who fucking decided to fucking give shit where Jerry's info. And now they're going to fucking attack this guy left and right.
Are you talking to John?
Nick, come on.
Who gave him his info?
What happened was,
I saw Chad put out a thing. That's what I saw.
Yeah, well, that's because, this is all in my opinion,
All right.
okay? I'm not saying this is fact. This is just what I know, and I'll let you connect the dots, okay?
Yeah.
I know that Vegas Bear Sells Jerry, as a favor to me, went over to Steve's house to help Steve get his,
All right, I might skip over some of this. Let me just tell you what John kind of says here. John's claim is that let me play in the background while I'm talking about it. I'll just turn it down a little bit.
his show going, okay?
All right.
So Vegas Bear Sells
So
Jerry
John's
is
claim
doing me a
is that
favor,
Vegas Bear
and it's
Sells
helping Steve,
Jerry.
and Jerry likes Steve.
He went
He's
over to
helping
help
Steve.
Steve Grillo
But in order
with
to
his
get into
podcast,
Steve's
and I know he did.
apartment building,
He said he helped him with the super
it's
tips
sorry,
and all this
the
stuff,
gated
right?
communities, which are all
And
over Las
I
Vegas.
guess
Okay.
Steve lives like in a gated
gotta get his
community in
name
Vegas.
and phone
And
number.
according to John, this is a common thing. I actually have no
The
idea.
same day
But
that Jerry
you have to
gives
give like
Steve his name
your
and
info to
phone
go
number,
into these communities, like your name,
people
phone
start
number, blah blah
doxing
blah.
Jerry.
And
Now,
the very day
the only thing Jerry
that
and I
Steve
could
went
ascertain
over to
is
Grillo's house and had to
nobody
give his
else
information
knew
to
what
get in
Jerry's
his
real name was,
community,
because I
that's when
always been very
Jerry's
good at that.
shit started getting
So
doxxed.
So
So
Steve Grillo,
John's
the
theory
owner,
is
this
that
like,
Grillo got
what
it
is it,
from when
the week
Steve
of
went
Slate,
over,
right?
and then Grillo gave
So
it to
he
Shuley,
gets duped by the shitware.
who leaked it or got people to leak it or
Shitware
whatever.
asked him
Um,
Jerry's information.
I don't
Now,
know. I'm not
Steve
gonna lie. That is a
obviously
little
likes to
suspicious.
drink, and he likes to smoke
If
weed.
Jerry's identity was
And
safe the entire
he
time,
is not very bright.
and the very day it
So,
gets leaked
At some point,
is when
Shitware
he
or
goes
Single White
over
must have somehow
to
gotten the intel
to Grillo's
But
and gives
they
them all
know
the info.
that Jerry is a witness.
But I also know people
my
that know
lawsuit.
Grillo, and some of
So
the
they
people I
know now,
trust the
if
most in the
they do it,
Stabbleverse tell me like Steve's a
it'll look
fucking
bad for
straight
them
up stand up guy
in
and
front
would
of the
never
judge,
do something
correct?
like that.
It would, yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
So,
it's
again,
hard for
all
me to
in my
believe that
opinion,
Grillo
Jerry
did
shares
that.
the same
Not
sentiment.
because I know Grillo, I don't know him well,
They got
but
using
from
allies
like I said, some of the
to go
people
out
I
and
trust
dox
the most in this thing
Who
tell me there's no
is the
fucking way.
Shitware's ally?
So it's tough.
Baby Fatso.
And
So they give
hold
Baby
on, let me
Fatso
say this real quick.
Jerry's intel.
Let me tell you about my conversations with Jerry. Hold on here. I don't believe Grillo would do that intentionally. Yeah, like I said, I don't know Steve. Well, I went on his show once, and it was more I'm friendly with someone he's friendly with in the Dabbleverse, and that's how that happened. And that person who I said I trust a lot tells me that there's no fucking way Steve did that. And like you said, intentional. Like maybe it was, if it did happen, it was an accident. I don't. Shuley seemed to know a little bit about Jerry anyway, so I don't know if he knew some of it, or maybe I don't know. I just want to say this about Jerry though, and I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I don't dislike Jerry like a lot of people do in this Dabbleverse. Now let me just say this. John and Ava made a bet about me, about something I said. John and I kind of briefly touched on it here. It was the whole, like I said, John claimed I said he raped 2 underage Vietnamese girls or something. And John put Jerry up to the task to find it. And Jerry couldn't find it because, like I said, that I never said that. So I actually reached out to Jerry and I was like, hey, Jerry, I didn't say what John said. You know, I is going to win that bet, but I do know what John's talking about, you know, and if I can give it to you if you need it at some point and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to go into details of private discussions that Jerry and I had, but we did have, a handful of discussions, and I was like, look, dude, I'm telling you, man, like John's got me wrong, and he's like, no, I believe, and Jerry, and this is up to Jerry. He may go live sometime. Maybe on John's show, maybe even I can get him on. Who knows? I think he wants to tell some of his story. But Jerry flat out told me certain things he's done and then certain things that he hasn't done. And it doesn't seem like Jerry's done nearly as many things as people think or the Shuley claims. And I'm someone who's been falsely accused of shit by trolls, so I know how that works. So I'm not saying, Jerry's 100% innocent angel, but I don't think he did all this. And I was even honest with Jerry. I was like, look, I'll flat out tell you, I've made comments about, like, I don't know how you're John's lackey, how you wait on him, like handed, like, hey Jerry, give me this, give me that. I brought that up to him. And, he had, again, I'm not gonna go into the details because it's not my place, but he had, it seems like him and John may have a personal relationship. It's not just like a lackey type of thing. So if either way, nobody should be harassing Jerry's family and doxing Jerry's family and stuff like that. Nobody should be, like I said earlier, nobody should be doing that to anyone's family. Now, I know Jerry's been blamed for a lot of the doxing. All I can say is that without getting the detail, that he denies it, and I have no proof that he's done it. So without the proof, he's been good to me. He's been decent to me. So if I find out he did do it, then yeah, it's a whole different story. So the one thing I didn't have is, yeah, you know what sucks? I do know like of one or two things, but obviously it's not my place to say. But I do know, according to him, the bulk of the doxing accusations against him are not true. And anything he has done, he didn't really consider doxing and stuff like that. But it's not the big stuff that people think. Here's one thing I will say. Is I think this is out there, but if it's not, I apologize, Jerry, but I don't think he'll care if I say this one part. There was a part where I think Jerry said something like when KB was fucking with John, when they were doxing each other's family shit or numbers or whatever. I think Jerry said something. This was on a live stream. John like, hey, give me Jerry's number. Give me KB's number, and I'll put it out there next. Something to that effect. And according to Jerry, he was never going to do it. It was just like a thing to see what KB would do, or to try and get KB to stop and stuff. So that was more like a bluff sort of thing. That's the one thing I'll say, because I don't think that's too much of a big deal. But no, this is what sucks for me is again, I don't know Steve Grillo, but well, I talked to him once on a live stream, and that was it. But guys that I like Steve, I don't know Jerry well, but I've had a handful of conversations with him, and he seems like a decent guy. He has, let's just say, he has more explanations for things than people realize. Unfortunately, it's not my place to say them, because they were private conversations. I am hoping to get Jerry on at some point. I think he's thinking about it. And let him say what he wants to say. I think that would be interesting. Just I mean, this is a small platform, but if Jerry talks, people will pick it up. Those are certain things people will want to hear. And yeah, my big issue with Jerry before I talked to him is I thought he did some of the doxing, but he again tells me he didn't until I know for a fact that he did. Then I'll go with his word. And the other thing I had is like I said, I thought it was kind of like sad how John seems to have him waiting on his beck and call. But again, he actually had an explanation for that. And again, it's not my place to say it, but it's not as bad as it looks. So that's all. Unless Jerry's hypnotizing me, I don't know what's going on. He's the type to dox you because you don't kiss his ass. Oh, you're talking about John? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna give him info because I don't really do that, but we'll see. I appreciate the warning. I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just letting people know my personal without the it sucks. It's like, again, I can't, I'm not someone that releases personal conversations, so I can't give the personal details. I'm just saying I was surprised with my conversations with Jerry. I never expected it. Like I said, I just reached out to him to let him know about the info concerning the bet because he was the one looking for the information for John. And when I did that, I just let him know, like, dude, I'm serious. You can ask Ava. John's got me wrong. It's not blah blah blah. And he was nice, and he was like, yeah, dude, I see this and that. I see you're not a troll. I see you don't do this. So he seemed very reasonable, and I feel like I'm a reasonable guy. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong because I'm not gonna act like I know the guy at all. I don't. I just had a handful of DM conversations with him. That's it. So yeah, I could be wrong. I'm just saying I get a better vibe from Jerry than I thought I was going to when I first talked to him.
Baby Fatso then does a show and doxes Jerry, and the rest is fucking doxing history. And all because the shitwaya convinced Steve Grillo, the idiot, the dimwit, Gunga dimwit, they convince him that they're the good guys and Jerry is a doxer. Do you understand?
Yeah, I hope they didn't do that. I mean,
here's the problem.
What's up, Matt? Did you guys talk about the time SJ put up a picture of you? So, a friend of mine actually is going to send in a super chat asking John about that. And John's going to pretend he doesn't remember. Look, to be fair, obviously John's done a million of these shows. He's had a bunch of guests. Obviously, what happened between him and I in like September and October of 2024 was more impactful on me than it was on him. So obviously, I'm going to remember a lot more of it than he was, but I do find it hard to believe he didn't remember putting my picture up or knowing knowing my name and shit. And I think it's actually coming up fairly soon. And even the way he said it, I didn't believe him. I don't know your name, do I? Like that sort of thing. Like he didn't seem very convincing that he really doesn't remember, but he's going to claim he doesn't remember it.
Problem next. Right. When you say you hope they didn't do that, can we look at the objective data, please?
Sure.
Right. Kate Meany has told me.
I'm going to skip some of this. This is just the whole. It's just the whole Jerry.
Because he's friends with Missy B, who's an outright anti-Semite. and yet Shitwayer still is friends with her, but yet calls everybody else an anti-Semite who happens to say anything. Like, he called me an anti-Semite for calling. Shitwayer distanced himself from that.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of shows lately, so I'm not even sure what he's done. But if he did, that's not good either.
Why does it care if I did roast jokes or not? Are you under the delusion?
Oh, okay.
For no fucking reason. There was no big problem with me and him. And now he just.
All right, so yeah, I asked John a question here about his Rodney's gig. So I'm somebody who's on record saying that I actually disagree with the majority of people who think John, if John had done his gig, the whole squeegee bit and everything, that he would have won the crowd over. I think they were drunk and riled up, so they would have been into it. But they would have been laughing at John. They would have been laughing at the dancing monkey, right? I don't think he would have won them over per se. So I don't have a problem with John doing a little, going off script and doing something else. But I thought it would have been better if he wrote or had someone write some really good roast jokes about Kumia, about KB, Carl, Shula, even though he wasn't there. And if he delivered them well and roasted them, I think that would have been better than reading Kumia's arrest record or report or whatever. And I kind of asked him that here. And like if he thought about writing roast jokes instead or something like that.
Just decided he's going to be anti-John,
Did you ever think about doing roast jokes at that gig instead of reading the fucking report? Or? And
by the way, Nick, Single Wide threatened to dox Jerry several times on the air. Shitwayer distanced himself from that.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of shows lately, so I'm not even sure what he's done. But if he did, that's not good either.
Why does it care if I did roast jokes or not? Are you under the delusion that me trying to do any real joke was going to be somehow winning that crowd over?
No.
If you're that delusional, then you're a lot dumber than I thought.
John, this is what I said publicly. The people that think you had you could have won the crowd over, I don't believe it. You would have been their dancing monkey if you did the squeegee and did the act they wanted.
Yes.
So I agree with that. I just think if you could have come up with roast jokes for everyone there, like or even they're not there.
I had them prepared.
All right.
But I realized that it didn't matter. It would never, even if I did them. Like I was going to say, I
appreciate it, Phil. I appreciate it. Thank you. I
was going to say, I guess his KKK meeting got canceled. And then I was going to say, Pocky, everyone give a big round of applause because he just won the Image Award from the NAACP. I mean, it was going to be like, shit like that. But it wouldn't.
Oof. No offense, Sean. Those weren't the best roast jokes. But hopefully you could have come up with something a little better. I don't think Pocky cares about being called racist. Like in my head, all right, he read that fucking arrest report and the stuff on the trans woman, on the whatever 13-year-old girl online. Instead of just reading the report, he couldn't have put jokes together based off of what was in the report. Like he could have referenced the report and used the report to write the jokes. Obviously, look, I'm just going to be honest because I try to be honest during this whole thing. John's been telling the same jokes for like fucking 20 years. So he probably doesn't have it in him to write really good roast jokes off of that report. But I felt I had to challenge him on that because I as I said, I actually agree with him that I don't think his bit would have worked, but I think he should have done something else. I think he should have written a new bit for that night, roast jokes for that night. Got comedians to help him if he needed to write roast jokes for that night. And yeah, obviously they're not gonna like cheer if you're roasting their hero Kumi and all that stuff. But if you wrote really good ones, you could have got the groans like, oh, like I can't believe you said that. Like if you push the envelope, if you got some really edgy fucking roast jokes, like actually edgy roast jokes, I think you could have got the groans and the boos and everything that you wanted while actually doing a comedy show.
Wouldn't have mattered because as soon as you think about it, as soon as you say Pocky and try and insult him when it's a lot of Pocky fans, how do you think that's going to go, Nick?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. They wouldn't have like laughed at it, but I would have been. I don't know, man. I always think of the Bill Burr thing he did in Philadelphia, where he turned the crowd around by just shitting on him and everything. But
yeah, I know, but it's a big difference because Bill Burr has at least some respect. These people do not respect me.
okay, all right.
You know, like you said, I'm their clown. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not going to fit into what they want from me. You know, that's not Stuttering John. Stuttering John does the exact opposite.
I've
which is like if you look at
I've
my
seen
history
those,
of doing interviews.
Sorry, Phil. I've seen those clips of John, Artie, and Kumia together. And yeah, he went for the juggler on both of them, but definitely on Artie, 100%. Yeah. He's so don't get me wrong, when I asked John the question about the roast jokes, I like, again, I didn't think he had it in his repertoire to actually do it, but I was just more interested if that ever entered his mind to do something like that instead of, just reading a fucking arrest record.
What I did at Rodney was exactly of what I would have done. If you saw me at the Mancow Mueller press conference, I did exactly what I did at Rodney's. I don't know if you ever saw that, but I literally confronted Mancow in front of all of his fans and started fucking screaming at him. And the whole place turned against me, and it was hysterical. SD 187. Thanks for the talk. You and would-be Trump assassin have much in common. What? I am a real person, and there is another setup. I don't believe any of this shit.
Oh, God. Okay, here's where John, I fast forward a little bit. John gets a call. I thought John was going to be gone for like a second, right? I didn't even know John was going to mute it, honestly, at first. So I let far too much dead air go by here, like probably like 30 seconds or something like that at least. For I'm like, all right, I should probably say something. And then I just start goofing around. Like when I used to go on Eccles Pineapple Show, I would like sing and just tell stupid stories. So that's what I do because John gets some kind of call from somebody. He claims it's like an order, like an Uber Eats order, but I don't think it was. I think he got a message from somebody.
Dead air. I wonder if I should sing. How about that? Eckler used to love it when I sang, right? And I feel time's a ways to go. Where you going for tomorrow? And I see. These are the yeah. Terrible. What else can I sing? Pearl Jam? Nah. So the Red Sox fucking suck. Cora's been fired. Second time. Fucking terrible. Off to a
Covering
shitty
his
fucking
mouth.
start. Holy shit. So everybody go subscribe to Eckle Pineapple. Streams on Saturdays. He broke up with Rochi.
Yeah, it's
sad.
fucking bad.
Very sad. What are you going to do? I got dumped too. What can you do? What can you do? Right? John's smiling. He's having a good time, whatever that is. He's laughing. Whoever he's talking to. Nod my head. All right. Nod my head. Gotcha. The Duke's having a good old time. Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl. Duke of Earl. You want a drug story, Penis Wrinkle? All right. I'll tell you the OD story. I went into a seizure because I fucking overdosed. And you kind of black out when you have a seizure, which I never knew. I remember walking from room to room and I was blacking out. And next thing I know, I'm in an ambulance. Apparently, had a seizure, pulled the shit out, tried pulling my AVs out, right? Sweating. Duke's back.
No, it's just, I feel bad. You know what I feel
Laughing
bad
at my
for?
seizure, John.
I feel bad for the people. Like these.
So I watched John during that. He's clearly having a conversation with somebody. He's covering his mouth. He's smiling and laughing. But he claims it was like a fucking Uber Eats driver thing. Like, obviously it was not. All right, I'm going to go a little bit. John actually ends the stream here because, and I'm guessing this is what the phone call was about. Somebody probably let him know. He got age restricted for some reason, so he can no longer get super chat. So he restarts the stream, and I get the link, and I come back on right about
Oh,
here.
and John
Yeah, good. You know, they age restrict this shit. You know, like it just comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
So they cut your super chats off?
Yeah, but it's like random. And you know what's weird? It'll happen to me the same day it happens to Pinky. It's like
no
it's a
fucking
cycle
Creed
almost,
2 joints.
You know, they
no
just
Creed.
they just do it as like you know, it's
Pearl
like
Jam wannabes.
people like Google just do it to protect themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. John, I'm just gonna throw my opinion out. Obviously, you do what you want, but Bacon Bits is just he's a new young dude. Like, I don't know, man. I heard he's making a killing right now.
The current team is rough.
Like, I don't know. You gonna strike. I guess that was counterproductive what I just said, but
Yes, it kind of.
I'm just saying he's a nice guy.
You'd make a terrible lawyer.
I wouldn't be a lawyer. Abba calls me actually a bunch of. I always get called a fence sitter, John. I'm a fence sitter.
You are offensive. Wait, he says he's not monetized. How is he making tons of money?
I think he's got super tips and stuff.
Oh, yeah. What's the problem? See, they all just. So in other words, he's taking money out of my pocket.
I think he got all the money because you struck him. I think that's what's.
No. And by the way, and by doing these live snipes, he's also taking viewers away from me.
All right, that could be fair, but yeah.
Rattled Steve Grillo, take out Bacon Bits.
Yeah, so Bacon Bits, I guess he made a killing. So obviously I wasn't watching Bacon Bits snipe John because I was on with John, but during the whatever 10, 15 minutes in between John's killing the stream, starting a new stream, getting me the link, I was talking to a buddy of mine who was probably watching on Bacon Bits and said he was getting like fucking mad money. Like, I guess he got monetized that fucking day and was making a killing because John struck him. And I saw people in the chat, the super chats coming, telling John to strike Bacon Bits. So that's why I tried getting ahead of it there and brought it up and shit. And my buddy even suggested that I bring it up. And Bacon Bits got a little bent out of shape about it, very briefly. He's like, I know you didn't do it on purpose. I think you realized right away. It's like, dude, everyone was telling him that you were sniping them and making a killing. Like, I was just trying to defend you and tell him to leave you the fuck alone. You're just a fucking young dude sniping shit, you know? But I disagree with John. Like, I don't think these people would super chat John. Most of them, maybe a couple, but John thinks all those super chats that people like Bacon Bits get would have came to him. It's like, no, those people watch Bacon Bits and super chat Bacon Bits because they don't want to watch you or give you the money. Now, could it cost John some views? Sure, because maybe some of these people, if they had no other choice but to watch John, maybe they would, you know. I think most of them would wait till like TSN covered it or whatever. But yes, he thinks he's going to get all those views and all those super chats would come to him, and it just wouldn't happen that way. Again, you can make the argument that he's taking some views away from him, but I don't think those same people would give John that money because they're trying to do the opposite. They're pissed at John for doing what he's doing to Bacon Bits and Shuley and all them, so they're giving those guys the money instead. He just doesn't seem to get that.
You know, look, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing that these guys can't come up with their own content. You know, like every single one of them, they all do the same thing.
Yes, I've seen it. I watched it live
or Cover Me. Now, listen, I know I'm incredibly handsome.
The lawyer.
And I know I'm incredibly charismatic.
Vince's stream.
Yes, but and I know I'm incredibly funny. But at what point do they just get a new idea? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was big.
You're like as my buddy Eckle Pineapple says, you're like the cheat code of the Dabbleverse, John. If you know
the cheat code.
Cheat code. If someone snipes you or covers you, then they get the views, they get the money. You know, just coincidentally, my co-host on the political show I did was Liquid Cryptid, who obviously you.
Yeah, that guy does the same shit.
And once you started going after him, his shit blew up. So you're like the cheat code, John. You know? So
in other words, if I strike him, they make more money.
Yeah, and get more views and more subs. Yeah,
that's what Shitway says. So when he sues me, and I present the tape of him saying he makes more money when I strike him, you know, that's going to be.
John, I actually agree with you that guys like Shuley and Liquid Cryptid and Bacon Bits get more views and make more money when you strike him. But I don't think a judge is gonna care if you show a video of me, a guy in a fucking Guy Fawkes mask, giving his opinion. It's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, granted, like Liquid Crypt is the one I know personally. You know, he's a buddy of mine. Um, when we were doing the political show together, I don't even have a lot, but I had, more subs and everything than him because two reasons. One, we were doing it on my channel. And two, actually three reasons. One, because we were doing it on my channel. Two, because I had the whole Stuttering John doxing thing. So some people knew me from that. And three, I was co-hosting a show on Eccles channel. So people knew me from that. So, I had a good amount more subs than Cryptid, and he has blown past me. And I'm not even monetized, and he's monetized. Blew right past me once John started going after him. So it just like same thing happened with Bacon Bits. So John thinks he's hurting these people, he's helping them. And I do gotta stick up for my buddy Cryptic, because I know some people, like I brought up the cheat code thing. I know some people, look down if people do the John stuff. Cryptid was recording and editing and posting live streams of multiple people. John, I think Aaron Imholt, fucking Jake Hudson, I think even not Fatty Patty, Chad Zumak. And he even came up with his own fucking super tip system thing that was free. You could pick a voice and type in a chat, and it would say he did all this work and stuff. And unfortunately, it was on a different platform, wasn't on YouTube, and people weren't watching it and stuff. And then when John started taking down his videos and putting them behind the wall, his live streams, and Cryptid was the only one that had the full things, he blew up. And again, John created that, but Cryptid did a lot of work leading up to that. He wasn't just, oh, John's putting the shit behind his paywall, maybe I'll just record his shit and put it up. No, he was already doing that, and he was already doing tons of other stuff. So he was working hard, way harder than me behind the scenes. I'm just I'm a casual dude that just fucking goes live here and there on his fucking couch, steals clips from other people for the most part, so yeah, he did a lot of work. So I feel like he earned that break. It was a break, but he fucking earned it.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a lot of lawsuits going on here. Gonna have some counters, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hey, I'll do whatever I gotta do. Chris plus. There you are. Dude, look at bot viewers pointing dummy point right now. Yeah, I know. They fucking. It's like, here's one thing. I'll never fake gifted memberships, Nick. I'll never buy viewers.
Yeah, he
it's not
blames
in my
Shuli
nature.
for a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I can't generate an audience on my own, then why do a show? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think.
I used to be a big Kumia fan. I don't think he's nearly as funny as he used to be. Instead of like crafting like funny racist jokes, he just says like racist things. Like I think anything. I'm not. I think you can joke about anything, racism, rape, all this shit. So I'm not offended or nothing. I just think he's gotten a lot lazier with his jokes. He used to be so much fucking funnier. But he is funnier than John. I mean, I got to give him that.
No matter what anyone thinks of you, John, I don't think you've ever bought viewers. I know
never
people
do
have
that.
bought them for you to fuck with you and shit, but I know you've never done it. Yeah.
No, that would be like, it'd be like I feel lame doing shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. No point.
Oh, these people are just love. So anyway, so Nick, what got you involved into the Dabbleverse? I don't understand the attraction really. Like I don't, because it just seems like more and more.
All right, I'll skip this part because it's just about me. For anyone that's interested, how I got into the Dabbleverse is, I think because I was watching political videos, I stumbled upon Carl's WATP video covering Stuttering John going to Washington, D.C. It was over an hour long. Shuli was on it with him, Kumia and some others, and it was fucking hilarious. And that's how I found the Dabbleverse. It just snowballed from there. I'd watched Carl. I mostly watched TSN and John at the beginning, and then I got into Carl and some other shows. Now I actually watch more of the medium and smaller shows. I don't watch a lot of the big shows anymore like I used to. But yeah, I used to watch Uncle Rico religiously at one point.
to write about and do. And that was the whole reason I tried getting on your show. Then I found like Carl covering that, and then it just snowballed. Like I said, and those are like the two shows, small shows. And I had Richard Ojeda on your show.
See, that's the thing that people don't understand, Nick. I don't care. Like I'm the only one who will hate super chats. You know what I mean? Like I don't really give a shit what anyone says. You know, I seriously don't care. But Chetway won't allow any bad super chats.
I haven't watched them in a while, so I don't know.
So you got tired of that nonsense too?
I don't watch many of the shows anymore, to be honest with you. I watch like mostly the smaller shows or the medium shows that I'm friends with the people. But yeah.
Do you watch me?
I still watch you sometimes, Johnny, of course.
John.
And I watch TSN sometimes too. And I watch all the shows sometimes. I just used to watch it way too much at one point, but no. Cut way back.
But why watch any other show when you could watch the original right here? Like you're OG Mumbling Nick. Why even like it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I mean, I'm right here.
Right. But John, obviously you entertain me. But sometimes the show gets repetitive, so I move on to something else. Sometimes it's the same.
Yeah, I was just trying to tell John here. It was probably the second time I took a little dig at him, but John can be entertaining accidentally a lot of times even, but so many times he says the same shit over and over again. It covers the same stuff. Shitway is saying this about me. Carl's saying this about me. I know I'm handsome. I know I'm a fucking genius. And it's like, what? So I have to move on to something else because I can't just keep listening to it over and over again. All right, here's my buddy Nigsaw, who's going to ask John about doxing me, and this is when the picture's going to come up. And John's going to claim he doesn't remember any of this stuff.
Same shit, so.
Oh, you mean like Shitway watching me every fucking show?
That's fair because he's covering you saying the same shit, so it's just, it just carries over. I'm just saying.
Mr. So who gave you Nick's information when you doxed him? I don't even remember. I don't know your name, do I?
Stuttered right over that. I don't know your name, do I? I don't even remember that. Yes, 100%. I did listen to Opie and Anthony on 107.3 WAAF, the only station in Boston that really rocks. Yes, I did. I do tell people that, didn't know who Opie and Anthony were before most of the country did. Or they did their April Fool's joke on Mayor Mumbles Menino, claiming he died. Oh, man. Living in Boston, you don't shit where you sleep. Yeah. Technically, I never, believe it or not, I guess I never lived in Boston, but I lived in the city right near Boston. Yeah. I was big O&A fans. I often joke the one time I called and actually got through on WAF, I talked to Opie on the phone. I never got to talk to Anthony. I had an idea and I thought it was funny, and it turns out they had the idea already and they just hadn't played it yet. They were ended up doing I had a parody idea that they had already made but hadn't played it yet, so it was pretty funny. Hell yeah, dude, I moved away right before they killed me. I was in the 5th grade. Oh yeah, you're a youngin'. Let's see, how old was I? I think I was in high school. Yeah, I think I was in high school. When did they get fired? I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna look it up when they got fired.
I don't know if you do anymore. You did. You put my picture up once.
Oh, really?
As a backdrop.
Well, that's after you said I was banging some underage chicks.
Were they good? It was one chick, John. It was possibly.
Yeah, well, if you said one chick, it's still, come on, man. You don't want to say shit.
I know, but John, you called me a fucking pedophile, a pedophile enabler. That's why I said it. It was my retaliation. I wasn't.
And this is how all this becomes. Yeah. It's all, everyone, then it says, well, you drew first blood. Well, listen.
Yeah, this was my big regret, and I should have known. John is convinced that I must have done something to deserve him doxing me or partially doxing me, and I really didn't. I know some people know the story. For anyone that doesn't, just real quick, again, I asked to get on John's political show, and John actually agreed to have me on, and then at least 2 trolls pretended to be me. and super chatted John all this awful shit about him and his kid, and John knew they were fake, but he was still like riled up and threatened, and he got my info from somebody, and kept threatening to release it, and then like finally did. So I literally did nothing. It's just the trolls, if you get too close to John, they don't like that. So when John finally agreed to have me on, he ended up not doing it. But yeah, the trolls came out of the woodworks, and John just can't admit that he got bad info on me. That was my hope, that he would acknowledge that the info he got on me was false, because it was, and that yeah, he did the shit he did without good reason, but he's just convinced that I must have done something to him. I must have. There's just no way. But I didn't, and there's just no getting through to him.
Nick, you must have been up to no good that I would ever do anything.
I wasn't up to no good. They were fake mumbling Nicks.
It was after you were at my mother's house and shit.
John, we already went through that. That was.
Yeah, but I didn't know you weren't at my mother's house. It
John,
looked like my neighborhood.
I'll send you the video. It looks nothing like your neighborhood. I was on a fucking hill. I was on a steep hill, so I could do a Cape Meany incline joke. Does your mother live on a steep hill?
What?
You at the time, you were like doing the Cape Meany workout, and you're like, I'm doing 8 speed on 7 incline, so I made a joke about the incline of the hill. I was on a super steep hill the whole time.
Yeah, but there was a sump right next to you.
I don't know how people do it.
A what?
A sump.
I didn't show anything, John. All right, I'll send you the videos. You can watch them.
I'm telling you, I literally thought you were right on the corner of, what's the road? I always forget this road. Amherst Drive.
John, I don't know the streets you live on.
And that's what and so it did look like it to me. You could at least respect me for that. Right?
I'll say this. I just, common sense wise, I think what am I, like 4 or 5 hours probably from Long Island?
How the fuck did I know where you live?
Everyone figures out where I'm New England.
Here you go. Nick, this is
all right.
This is where
yeah, so I'm gonna fast forward through this, but real quick. I tried common sense with John. So I made 2 of these videos, like I said, parody videos, pretending to be on John's mother's street or whatever. Filmed them in my own neighborhood, like 2 days apart. I would have had to drive like 5 hours to John's mother's house. Filmed a 2-minute video, then drove 5 hours back. Then 2 days later, did the same thing. And I tried telling John, I'm like, everyone else who's ever gone to somebody's house, like John's gone to KB's house and Melton's house. Chad went to fucking Mersh's house. Anyone that's ever done that stuff, they live stream from those places. They live stream. They make a big deal out of it. They fucking big production. I didn't live stream. I didn't show any houses. I made pre-recorded 2-minute videos. Huge difference. And he just doesn't get common sense wise. Like, well, I never thought he or anyone else would believe I was actually there. Especially since I listed the videos as fucking parody. And I was challenging John to come outside to talk politics. Like I wanted to have a political fight. Clearly it was parody, but he just won't admit that it's obvious fucking parody because he can't be wrong. This is what frustrated me the most about the appearance, because this is the whole point. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get through to him on this, but I couldn't because he can't be wrong.
You guys get into the thing where I'm going to beat you because now you're going to get beat. I thought you were near my mother's house. Now, let's say that your argument where you say, well, I'm 4 hours away. I don't know where you live. Secondly, did being 7 hours away from Tommy Jordan stop him from coming to me?
Again, John, I did these 2 years ago. Tommy Jordan wasn't a thing when I did this. No, the Dabbleverse was much smaller. Nobody was driving 7 hours to fucking troll nobody.
I guess not, but
what?
All right.
The answer is yes or no.
No, I will still.
No. So then why would you even say, well, I'm 4 hours away from you when you know people travel hours? Okay. Lady K's brother Grant traveled 4.5 hours to see me.
Yeah, to watch a show and see you, John. You thinking I travel 5 hours to film a video on a street where I didn't show you or the house? It makes no sense.
So your argument is now out the fucking window.
All right, let me say this. Everyone else that's done that shit, you Mersh, Tommy, whatever, they show they do live streams. They show the house. I made like 2-minute videos where I showed nothing. That would have been the biggest waste of my fucking time to drive 4 or 5 hours, do that, come home.
I'm supposed to know how stupid you are.
I mean, Ed,
look at Tommy. You want to talk about? Oh my God, dude. But this is good. It's good practice for my legal.
There you go. Practice away, John.
Okay.
Practice away.
Okay, Tommy Jordan traveled 6 or 7 hours each way, only to finally have the chance to interview me, and the only thing he can come up with is I'll wait. So you're trying to tell me that that if you travel 4 hours and just showed a part of the area where my mother lives, that somehow.
Okay. I wonder if he even watched them. He should have recognized the neighborhood. I think he grew up in his mom's house. Oh, all right. Here's what's funny. I don't think I can find it anymore. I recorded certain shit back then, but I don't have this. But I fucking remember this. What happened was, again, like I said, John finally agreed to have me on. The very next day, when he sees one of my chats, he's like, "Oh yeah, Nick, just so you know, I don't know if it's true, but somebody messaged me saying that you made videos driving by my mother's house recorded." And there's actually someone in the Dabbleverse at the time who was doing that. I don't know if you guys, he's gone now, but if anyone remembers JJ Dabbles, he used to kind of produce the Trainwreck show with the two trans women there, Helga and Lisa. He lived in Long Island, and he used to drive by John's house and record it. And, I was loosely associated with him at the time. So I thought whoever messaged John confused me with JJ. So I'm like, dude, I never drove by fucking your mother's house recording. I was like, I fucking swear on my life. So the guy sends him the 2 videos, and I know who it was. It was the baseball player who's now out of the Dabbleverse. But John watched the first one live on air, and it was hilarious because I'm doing the goofy parody. And when John went to KV's house, he did this whole thing stretching. He's like, Kevin's doorman doesn't know who Kevin Brennan is, but he knows who Stuttering John is. How fucking funny is that? So I went, Stuttering John's mailman doesn't know who Stuttering John is, but he knows who Mumbling Nick is. And John goes, I've known that mailman since I was a little kid. I'm like, there is no mailman. Like, he acted like he was convinced I was there. I didn't show one house. He claims I showed a sump. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It looked, like I said, from the very limited video I've seen of John's mother's house, it looks absolutely not. I've actually done videos on it showing how it looks nothing like the same area. And when he went to watch the second video, which is even more obvious, he watched the first video again. So I don't think he ever saw the second video where I'm climbing up the fucking steep hill and all this stuff, and it's clearly even more parody than the first one. But I know he saw the first one. But you know him, he wanted to believe it. Like, he wanted to believe it, so he acted like I was there. And what's ironic is I emailed John after that explaining the whole thing. How, dude, I was in my own neighborhood. I made it to try and get on your political show. It was a goofy fucking thing. And he acknowledged it. He's like, oh, he exaggerates. Mumbling Nick sent me a beautiful email and blah, blah, blah. He forgets all that. Like, he's known for 2 years that I didn't really go to his mother's house. But I remember, like, one of the first times he had $2 Dan on a matter of months ago, it came up and he acted like, yeah, he went to my mother's house. It's like, John, you know I didn't go there. You know I didn't go. We've been through this a million times. I mean, he even brought it up multiple times during this stream. It's like, dude, I didn't go. Like, I thought about sending him the videos, but I don't know if it would do me any good at this fucking point. Yeah, God, look, I do have a confession. I mean, part of the reason, like, I tried getting on even here at the end is like, I know there were so many people working against getting me on that it was like almost like a small victory to finally get on. And ironically, I got on when I gave up. Jerry had been trying to get me on. Ava had been trying to get me on for a long time. John would agree and then renege on it. And Jerry started after I reached out to him about that bet. And after I went on, it wasn't happening. So after I went on Grillo, I messaged Jerry and I was like, hey, thank you and thank Ava for trying to get me on. But I give up. I've been waiting for so long and he just won't do it. I'm like, I just did Steve Grillo's show, so I know there's no way John will have me on because obviously he's fighting with Grillo. So I was like, dude, you don't even bother trying anymore, but thank you. And amazingly, without me even asking, he got me on at the very end. I don't know how he did it because he'd been trying, I've been trying, and somehow I got on after I went on Steve Grillo. But I don't know. It was it finally happened, and yeah, part of it was just I had tried off and on for so long. I was like, let me just see if I could fucking get on. So it was like a small, just getting on was just a small victory.
I'm going to think because you didn't do anything. Tommy Jordan didn't do anything either. And he traveled 7 hours each way.
I think if you listen to him, you would hear it was just parody. But the last thing I do want to say is this. To me, right is right and wrong is wrong. And going after family and doctor, it's just wrong. So even if I did do that, like even when you did to me what you did, I always defended your family.
You've been asking me to come on my show now. For how long? And I finally let you on. And
John, because I wanted to explain this to you because you always have it wrong. That's all. You get bad, whatever. It's been a misunderstanding for like 2 years at this point. That's it.
Can you at least give me this one, Nick? Even though I already annihilated you, but can you give me this?
Annihilated.
Can you at least give me this? I am on the constant attack.
You are.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Are you trying to say I'm one person and I'm supposed to have the ability to discern between what's real, what's not real? I mean, I get texts, like 100 texts a day. 100 calls a day. And I'm supposed to discern what's real and what's not? Come on.
So I will give you, John, is I totally understood your paranoia from go because people are always fucking with you. So I got that.
Thank you.
I had just hoped because I had befriended a lot of the people you knew that you trusted.
I trusted
me.
Ava and I trusted Jerry and they said, Nick's a good guy. Have him on. And here you are. Not once, but twice.
All right. Well, it finally happened. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, John.
But even if you did want to do a political show, like I wouldn't have you on with a mask when the Army Major's brave enough to not have a mask and Brian Karam is brave enough.
I love this part too. So I can't remember. I don't think I got into it with him too much, but I didn't wear a mask when I first got to the Devilverse. I didn't know what the Devilverse was like. I had my face out and everything. And John and his minions are why I wear the mask, which is the irony of the whole fucking thing. It's not in here, but a couple days later, or actually it might have been the very next day, I sent John a chat thanking him for having me on, and he invited me on his last show. Again, I didn't go, but he invited me, and he made some comment like, Nick, like, guys like you and Clay, I understand why you wear masks because people are always like, people are so nasty in this Devilverse. They do fucked up shit. But I love how you guys, you wear the mask, but you don't attack people. You don't hide behind the mask. And he claimed like Cardiff hides behind his filter and blah, blah, blah. But he said he understood why Clay and I wore masks because of all the bad shit that happens. But it's like, dude, I have to wear the mask because of you. You're the one that did that shit to me. It's like totally missed that whole part. Like, I don't want to wear this stupid fucking thing. I mean, when I did a Devilverse political show, it kind of fit because I don't like the elites. I don't like the government. So wearing the Guy Fawkes mask, the hood, like, it's kind of like a little character. It works, but trust me, plenty of times I'd rather not wear it, especially with the weather about to get hot and everything.
To not have a mask, and I'm brave enough to not have a mask. But
I don't care if anyone sees. Like, you've shown my face. Like, I don't want.
Yeah, but I don't even remember because it was so insignificant to me.
I'm just saying, family's been fucked with. That's why people don't want to do this shit. People fuck with innocent people in this world, and it's fucking.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
All right, you fuck with yours.
Where did it start? My mother? Yes, my mother. That's where it started. That's where they thought it was okay to start.
Yeah, John did give me. Yeah, I think I give you is that Stuttering John lets you talk. Not like the show he did with Carl, which he shared the super chat money. Yeah, he did. For the most part, John definitely let me talk. I got it. He cut me off a few times, but he let me. For the most part, he let me get my shit in. He didn't sit there and yell over me the whole fucking show like he did the Carl and Shuli and shit.
I'm calling her at 2:30 and 4:30 in the morning on Christmas fucking morning.
Yeah, that's wrong, John. That's what I said. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
When they sent deliveries to her house.
Okay, this is the last. I think it's gonna be the last part I play from this, and then I just want to briefly go over Carl, the WATP stuff, covering the end of this, which is we talk about alcoholism. But this part is, if I recall, I try to stress something to John here, and this is something that I did get some compliments on this part. I know Rob Saul was a big fan of this, but I tried using an analogy. I probably could have used a better analogy, but it worked. It worked good enough. Just trying to get through to John why it's not okay for him to go after other people's family just because people go after his family.
And her body was in pain for months after, an 88-year-old woman.
Yeah.
And she had to disconnect her phone number that she had for 60 years because of these fucking idiots.
Yeah, John, I'm against it. I'm not going to defend that. It's awful.
And then Silent Mike decides to put a picture up and claims he's banging her.
Right, and that's why I would never do something like that. So that's why I don't know why you do stuff like that to people sometimes. Like, you know it's wrong because it's been done to you and your family. That's
what are you talking about? What am I showing?
You've shown people.
I showed people in retaliation. I don't draw first blood. Right. They do. Then I retaliate. And by the way, I stopped even doing that because at this point, like, I haven't done that in years because I'm just like, fuck it. It's beneath me. And I'm just going to ignore it at this point. Rattled Steve Grillo thinks too much. Bacon Bits can't afford his methadone without you. And by the way, like,
ironically, he showed, God, I don't even think I said it, but I never did anything to his family, and he showed me and did stuff with my family. And his claim is that I went to his mother's house, or he thought I went to his mother's house, or that fucking Asian prostitute fucking thing after everything he did. But it's like, that's not even, John. Go after me. You were going after me. That's why I said that stuff. I never went after your family. And he just, when he sits there and acts like he's never gone after anyone's family or doxed anybody first, that it's all been in retaliation, that's not true. But also, even if it was true, it's still not right. Again, when John did what he did to me, I didn't go after his family. And trust me, people reached out to me. People love the fight. So I had people reach out to me, giving me info of family members of his. I wouldn't be shocked if one or two of those people were the same people that helped John get me. They wanted to see us fight. Not me particularly, just wanted to see John fight with somebody. So, but I didn't take the bait. I did nothing with it because it's just fucking wrong. And I just couldn't get through to him on that.
He did it to me. I retaliated, and then I immediately stopped. Look what Pinky did, calling my wife.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Showing my divorce, and then in retaliation, let me just make this an example to you. In retaliation, I put a public picture behind me of his wife, and I said, "Look how beautiful she is. He is lucky to have. Look how gorgeous this woman is." I mean, that's what I did. You know what he did though? Reading the fucking child custody battle and only the one side and over again? Come on, Nick. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't defend that, John. Absolutely not.
Rattled Steve Grillo, take out Bacon Bits. What do you think's going to happen to Steve, Nick?
I don't know. I've talked with Steve. Steve seems like a very nice guy, but he seems kind of a little too trusting. He's too trusting. He believes everything people test him.
He's always been stupid. He's the epitome of stupid.
Well, I hope he just gets good people in his corner that can steer him right. Because like
I did. I gave him Vegas Beer Sauce Jerry, and he fucking dissed him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this part first, then that part. Yeah, this is. I try to explain to John. So I think you guys probably know if you watch John in TSN and Uncle Rico and all that. That Grillo fired Jerry as his producer or whatever. Jerry was helping Steve with the super tips. And for those that don't know, um, people that receive super tip actually receive some of your personal information. Not through super tip itself, I don't think. I think through Stripe, which is the company they get the money from. Um, not like all your, not like super personal, but enough. Like I've talked to people that have it. I think they get, don't quote me on this, but it's something like they get like, your zip code, so they know what like town and city you live in, maybe some other info or whatever. They can narrow down where you're from at the very least, right? Not your exact house, but at least like the city and town and some other stuff. And people told Steve that they weren't going to super tip as long as Vegas Bear Sales Jerry was working for him, because they didn't trust Jerry not to give John their information. And like some people thought that John put Jerry in as a mole to get information. And I'm going to address that here and tell John that I actually think Steve did Jerry a favor by just getting rid of him. I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't a paid gig or anything anyway. So I think he did Jerry a favor, because I'm not saying that Jerry went there with any ill intent, but I think if certain people super tipped Grillo, that John would have pressured Jerry for that information. And I believe Penis Wrinkle is the person I just used as an example. Like, suppose Penis Wrinkle super tips Grillo, and now Jerry knows what state and town that Penis Wrinkle lives in, and maybe some other info. I believe John would have asked Jerry for that information, and now Jerry would have been stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does he fuck over Grillo super tip people? Does he and just getting away from that whole thing was probably good for Jerry. And that's the point I try to make to John. But he has me repeat it like 3 times. He doesn't seem to grasp it.
See, that was I think you did Jerry. I think you did Jerry, or he did Jerry a favor on that one. Because I do believe I don't think Jerry would have went there with any ill intent, but I do believe, suppose somebody that was going after you super chatted, you might have asked him for the information, then Jerry would have been stuck between you and Steve and what to do,
What?
Well, that's why he fired Jerry, because people were telling him they weren't going to super tip if Jerry was running the thing, because they were afraid Jerry was going to give them the information.
Nick,
yeah.
You know how many people said they're going to stop super chatting me if I had Dan from Nice Podcast Stupid on?
Right, but they don't.
Did I cower to that?
Okay, John cut me off there, but what I was the point I was trying to make is, right, but Dan doesn't have anyone's personal information. I mean, he may have, I don't know if he has anyone's personal information. I just meant Dan's not getting anyone's personal information from super chats, where Jerry would have access to personal information through super tip. So it's a totally different thing.
Kind of bullying?
No, but they don't get their.
Oh,
all right.
So because Steve's so stupid, he throws Jerry to the corner because he's afraid he's not going to make money. You know what that says to me? You're a greedy prick who doesn't stand for anything. If somebody said to me, and they have, you have Dan on, I'm not super chatting anymore. I don't care. Don't super chat. People say, if you have Ava on, I'm not super chatting. I don't care. I'm having Ava on because I have a pair of balls and I don't take shit from anybody. That's the difference, Nick. Steve listened to Shitwaya. Steve got duped by the Shitwaya, as did Rob, and then they turned on me, and by doing so, they turned on Jerry. How did Steve do me a favor? Let me understand this.
No, I said he did Jerry. I did Jerry a favor so he didn't get stuck in between.
Really? Steve did Jerry a favor by doxing him?
No, I'm not saying doxing him. I meant I don't know if he doxed him or not. I meant by not having him in charge of the super tips anymore. Because John, all right. Woo, I think they get part of your info if you super tip. So suppose Penis Wrinkle super tips, right? Jerry, wouldn't you be curious who Penis Wrinkle is?
Maybe Penis Wrinkle did what?
Suppose Penis Wrinkle sent a super tip. Suppose Penis Wrinkle sent a super tip to Grillo, right? Then I think part of
Yeah.
his information is Grillo would have that, or Jerry would have it. Would you ask Jerry for that info so you could try to figure out where, he was from or who he was?
Wait. I'm sorry. Say it again.
All right. When with the super tip thing, my understanding is you get part of the people's information, like maybe the city or the area code stuff where they live. So that's why people said they weren't going to super tip, because they thought Jerry would give you their information. So I said, suppose like one of your enemies, like Penis Wrinkle, super tipped Grillo, and now maybe Grillo has roughly the area where Penis Wrinkle lives, and Jerry's in charge of that. Would you have asked Jerry for that info?
No.
Okay, I think that was the fear.
Oh, and here's the thing, Nick.
And that was the fear. And if I'm being honest, I don't believe John there. I think John would have asked Jerry for that information. And then that's probably not a situation Jerry wants to be in, because I think he likes Grillo and he likes John, and he doesn't want to be, doxing Grillo supporters for John like that. Anyway, it's a tough place to be in. So as I said, I think Jerry's better off not being in charge of all that. I think Steve's better off because he still gets the super tips, and Jerry's better off because not only does he not have to perform those production duties anymore, but he won't get stuck if John pressures him or whatever. So it was kind of a win-win. I get it. I'm sure it sucks if you help a guy out and then just days later he's like, thanks for helping me get fucking lost because people aren't going to give me any money if you're around. But Jerry's been in the Dabbleverse long enough. I think he understood. I think he got it, didn't take it personal. I don't want to put words in his mouth. Maybe it did bother him. I don't know. But just my opinion that, he's better off not even being involved in any of that shit.
Jerry just said there's no info from super tips that can be used.
Okay, I've heard from other people that have it. That's all.
There you go again.
Right.
You make these fucking assumptions.
I didn't make it.
Okay, John, I didn't make an assumption there. People who I am friends with in the Dabbleverse, my closest friends in the Dabbleverse, have told me otherwise. And maybe Jerry just didn't know. I think Jerry's correct that you don't get the info from Supertip. You get it from Stripe, which is the company you have to use to get the money from Supertip. So, right, Jerry probably is right there. And maybe Jerry wasn't even involved with Stripe. Maybe he didn't even know that part. So, very well, probably wasn't. He had to show Steve how to use it so he could get his money. But after that, maybe he wouldn't even been involved in that process. I don't know. So maybe I should have said through Stripe, but I was just trying to keep it simple by saying, Supertip. Because John was having trouble following it to begin with. So I didn't want to throw a third fucking company in there and really rattle Mensa brain over here.
Anything? Oh, okay,
and they're ill-advised. You are not schooled on what you're talking about.
So look. You can.
And you know what I'm going to do next, Nick?
What's that?
After you send me those videos that you made that you claim didn't look like my mom's house, when I go back home, I'm going to show you the corner I'm talking about, and I'm going to say, "Does this look similar?" And you're going to go, "Yeah, I guess it does." And then you're going to owe me an apology.
The only time I've ever seen your mother's house was on Behind the Stutter. Like that's it. That's it.
Okay, so my mother's on a block. Okay, so let's say the phone is the block, right? So there's my mother's house. There's a real shit about fucking that it didn't look like that you bought my mother's.
Right, like I said, I only saw it on the Tonight Show, and it didn't look like it. But I haven't seen the whole street.
Yes, you haven't. Right. Again, an ill-advised statement made by OG Mumbling Nick, and I don't dislike you, Nick. I'm fucking with you a little bit.
I'm good, John. I'm good.
Hermosil Finishing, thanks for the tenor. Man, my wrist has been killing me, Nick. You have made Nick stay. He's a good dude. He's a true liberal. He has an open mind and honest. I personally listen to Nick, and he can change my mind. He doesn't yell and scream. Well, listen, if you don't think me with the yelling and screaming isn't partially for the humor of it all, then you're an idiot. Because, I obviously am not really mad at Nick. Nick, I'm not really mad at him.
John, you can tell when you're actually pissed and when you're doing your spiel.
Yeah, he was giving me, like, street names where his mother lives, like corner of this and that. I was like, John, like, don't give that shit out, man. Now, granted, the poor guy's mother's address has been posted a million times, but, he tried telling me that where I was looked. What's funny is he doesn't remember... Claims he doesn't remember saying my name and putting my picture up or whatever, but he remembers this video he watched once where he's like, there was a sump here and it looked like the corner of this street and that street where my mother lives. Like, how the fuck does he remember that? I don't remember a sump in this fucking. I don't know what he's even talking about. I think he's confusing like multiple fucking things here.
Let's see, slobbering moron who uses a picture of my man Joe Walsh, who, by the way, I wrote a song with called "I Don't Like You Either," where we recorded. You hear me and Joe exchanging licks together. Yep, I don't care, man. Yeah. Grillo, poor Steve Grillo. Nick is defending him. Bacon Bit stole half your live views. Take him out. He did. You know, but I'm the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy. Look, just dabbling. John, you doxed Danny's wife. She's famous. How do you dox a CNN report?
Okay, finally. This is the part I thought was going to be before. This is the last part I'm going to show from this. And then I'll briefly go over the alcoholism part.
I mean, what the fuck? Nick, are these guys like, I mean, are they like, do they even have high school educations?
Yeah, he has. I don't know. I just said I don't like getting in that dirt. I don't know why people bring that shit up. That's all.
No.
I know she's famous, but I didn't know who she was.
Lucy Tightbox was all about, I'm fucking,
Danny.
Danny,
John.
the lawyer. So then I said, oh, he's married to someone famous, and showed a picture that the New York Times was on the New York Times fucking newspaper. It wasn't anything that has not been, I mean, that's not doxing. That's like you saying, you show behind a stutter and you're doxing me. Do you understand the difference, Nick?
So I know it's not technically doxing. I'm just saying you're like, hey, I know who your wife is. I don't know. It's almost like a mafia type thing.
No. I was rubbing it in to Lucy going,
okay, I did get the mafia line out there. Good. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make is John, like, he's not showing the guy's wife to be kind, like he's claiming. Like, he's going to give her compliments, but that's not why he's showing her. It's a mafia move, like, shame if something happened to your wife. Now, obviously not that extreme, like John's not going to whack the guy's wife, but when you put someone's personal info out there, it's like that's what bothers me, right? Again, couldn't care less that John showed my face. Didn't care what name. It's when family was involved. It's like, what are you hoping that something happens to my kids? That some whack job shows up here and does something to one of my kids or does something to my wife? Like, is that what you're hoping? Otherwise, why do it? And that's fucked up. This is the goofy internet, dude. Like, because I asked to get on your political show, you're hoping something bad happens? Or because I made a joke about you and a fucking Asian fucking prostitute? After you did all this shit to me for fucking weeks? Like, all right, come after me, dude. Again, if you, oh, Nick's kid made the honor roll, this and that. It's like, okay, complimentary, John, but it's still fucking weird. It's a mafia move. That's what you're doing. Don't mention family. Nobody's.
Oh, too bad. I know you have the hots for Danny, but he's got a beautiful wife. That's all. I wasn't like, I was being incredibly complimentary. She won the fucking Pulitzer Prize. You can't dox somebody who's been all over the fucking news already. And that's real yelling.
Right. I'm not saying it's not doxing, John. I'm just saying I don't know. It's little things. Like when you call, never mind.
This is amazing to me, Nick. And this is what I find so hypocritical and humorous. You guys like to point out anything that I do.
You guys, like I said, he just groups everyone together. Like, this is the same way when somebody calls his mother, like on Christmas Eve, or somebody secretly records him at his gig, or somebody posts a picture of his fucking kid or whatever, doxes something. He blames Shuley, he blames Carly, lumps them all together. Now he's lumping me in and blaming me for the people that say stuff about his mother. Whatever he's about to say here, he's trying to lump me in with it when I don't do this stuff. And he just paints with a very broad brush. And it's fucking frustrating.
But you don't point out the myriad of things they do that causes me to retaliate. Do you understand? So, for instance, those idiots doxed my lawyer's girlfriend, who's not famous. They doxed my lawyer. They doxed my other lawyer, played his stand-up, and did everything else and trashed him, both of them. All.
No offense, if your lawyer's doing stand-up, he's a public figure, no? Right? Again, I'm not saying any of this is right, but saying somebody's lawyer's name isn't as big a deal because that shit's public. That's on court dockets. Again, I don't think people should be. This is actually a tough one because I don't think people should be delving into anyone's personal life. Like, look, even right, people that go into John's divorce papers or whatever, deep down inside, I don't think that's right. Just like I don't think it's right John going into the police record. But this court case is Dalvoverse related, so it makes it kind of tricky. And obviously lawyers are publicly listed on these fucking court dockets. So again, John, by your own logic, nobody's doxing your lawyer by showing the guy's stand-up. You hired a lawyer that does stand-up. That's the problem. Like you shouldn't, you should have got like a better lawyer, bro.
Three of them, not
You shouldn't have sued at all, really. But if you were gonna, get a better lawyer.
stop, and you're accusing me of doxing. I mean, this is what I mean. You are part of the problem, Nick, because you don't look at the facts. You don't look at what happened first. And when you look at what happens first, then you go, oh, wait, but they did this, that, and the other thing. But you don't even know that they did all that. So you sit and attack me right here.
No, John, I just think it's all none of it's right. Like, all right, this is an extreme case, but like sexual assault is wrong. So if someone sexually assaulted someone you loved, you wouldn't go sexually assault someone they love because it's wrong. You do something else. So I just think this stuff's wrong. It's wrong when they do it to you. It's wrong when you do it to them. That's what I believe.
But again, now when it comes back to what you're saying about the Pulitzer Prize winner, she's fucking, she did a great thing.
She did.
I mean, I was complimenting her. I could see if I was disparaging.
Yeah. So again, he's just changed. Like that was the point I was trying to make. If somebody sexually assaults a loved one in my family, I'm gonna kill the motherfucker. I'm not gonna go sexually assault a female in their family. That would never enter my mind. I'd snap and go after that fuck. But the way John and these guys do stuff, it's like, oh, you sexually assaulted my niece? Well, I'm going to go sexually assault your niece. How do you like that? Like, that's fucked up. And that's what's going, obviously at a lower scale, but that's essentially what's happening. And I was trying to get that through to him on that, but now he's bringing up, well, his wife did a good thing. I complimented her. John, we know why you complimented her, though. You didn't do it because you're trying to, it's your way of putting pressure on Danny via his wife. Like letting everyone like, oh, I know who your wife is, and that's just it's just wrong.
Her. But I was not. I said she was beautiful, smart, and she was fucking awesome for taking down a pedophile.
And she is, but we know you don't like Danny, or you might not. You're right. To be fair, you might not. You're right. We just know Danny's.
No, again, you're wrong. No. I said Danny's probably a big fan of mine, and I said Danny's a good-looking guy, as opposed to them trashing my attorneys. See, you guys, you are part of the problem, Nick. And I hate to say it, but you are a microcosm of the problem. They do all of this heinous shit to my people, and I compliment a fucking Pulitzer Prize winner, and you accuse me of doxing. And by the way, what I found to be like an incredible coincidence, hypocrisy, whatever, is she took down a pedophile while he is representing a show that was named after a pedophile. If you don't find that a bit odd, then you should get a lobotomy.
What I found most ironic about that is the specific pedophile, because you guys call it the Sandusky Network,
yes.
And it ends up being
yes,
Sandusky.
And that's what I was pointing out. Thank you. And that's what I pointed out. But I did not trash Danny. I did not trash his wife. And the only thing I said about Danny is I think he's filing ridiculous motion after another to exhaust my resources. That's not saying that, he's an...
Yeah, no one should be talking about this court in fucking public, John. But again, I beat it to death. the things bringing up the guy's wife is complimentary or not, we know why he's doing it. The same reason he did it with KB's wife. It's not to be complimentary. It's to go after the person via their spouse, which is not cool. All right. I'm starting this about like 8 minutes in. Not gonna watch the whole thing, but this is WATP sort of covering towards the end of my appearance on with John. Somebody sends in some comment about John's drinking, and this is something, believe it or not, I had hoped wouldn't come up. I had a feeling it might. And because, believe it or not, all right, real quick, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a former addict. I wasn't an alcoholic or anything. I mean, I drank, but that wasn't my drug of choice. I was as I explained to John here, I was an opiate addict for 8 years. I've been sober for 14 years now. So I have addiction in my family. My father was an alcoholic. His brother was an alcoholic. My uncle, like I got so many cousins, aunts and uncles that are addicts. And yeah, all through my father's side of the family, including me. And it's the one thing. Oh, thank you, Philip. It's the one thing. Look, I know people bust John on his drinking, and I get frustrated with John's goofy beer math and that whole fucking thing. But I'm not rooting against John's sobriety. If John went, despite feelings, despite what happened between John and I, if John went to rehab, I would be pulling for the guy. No matter who they are, I don't want to use somebody's addiction to ridicule them, to get clout, nothing like that, right? So I didn't want this to come up because I also wasn't going to enable John and tell him that he doesn't have a problem if it came up. So when it came up, I quickly mentioned that I thought he had a problem, but that we don't need to talk about it because I don't think he's ready for that conversation. And I don't think he's ready. If you're an addict, you can get all the help in the world. You ain't going to get sober until you're ready. And I remember what it was like as an addict, hearing people talk to me about how I should get sober, how I had a problem. And it felt awful. Like, I know what that feels like. So I actually have this is one of the areas where I actually have sympathy for John. And I understand, like, the whole Rob Saul thing. I understand. In my heart, John knows he has a problem. He denies it, but he knows. Underneath, he knows. And he knows he has a worse problem than Rob had. So for Rob to go to fucking rehab and get sober, John knows, fuck, I'm worse than that guy. So I should, but he doesn't want to. He's not ready. And that's what I meant by he's not ready for the conversation. He's in denial. Again, deep down inside, he knows, but he's got denial right at the front. So when he kind of brought up the drinking to me and he wanted me to back him up that he didn't have a drinking problem, I wasn't going to do it. So I didn't. I said, you have a problem, but let's move on. You're not ready for this conversation. And he just wouldn't drop it and was accusing me of doing stuff that he thinks Rob does to him, like being all uppity. Well, we'll see. This is what happened. I tried to drop it, but John wouldn't let me.
So you were checking out this interview with OG Mumbling Nick, and I'm glad that you did because I was watching this when it was happening, and I was picking up on everything that you were. I am so excited to present to this to everyone. Please, where do we begin with it?
Right at the top, where John is confused as to why people would ever think that he might perhaps have a problem with alcohol.
Meanwhile, it's 4:56, Nick, and so far all I've had is a Monster, a protein drink, and I'm drinking some water. But somehow I'm the drunk, right?
Well, I was a former addict, John, so I got to be honest. I do think you might have an issue with that, but I understand.
Really?
But if you're not ready, I'm not here to press. You know, I know how that
I'm
works.
ready for what? What are you talking about? What am I doing?
That's what I mean, John. It's fine. It's fine.
This is amazing because Mumbling Nick does not want to get into it. He's very apprehensive about this whole subject. He knows it's not going to go well.
But he doesn't want to enable him either.
Right. So we're going to find out Mumbling Nick has some experience with this kind of thing. But it's very funny that.
Yeah, Rob did. John, I'm sure you saw it when John was like, what'd you have to have a drink like every minute? Like, again, John didn't want to say, Rob, you have a drink every day because John drinks every day. And there were certain things I wanted to say to John here. All right. There was something in particular. There was a family member of mine who, personality-wise, nothing like John, but addiction-wise, so close. Even that this person drank the same beer as John, Busch Light, right? This person died in their at 57 years old. So John's 60. So I wanted to explain this person to John, a loved one, a family member of mine who's passed, who I loved. But, I didn't want like Mumbling Nick's drunken fucking relative as a character. And also, John wasn't ready. If I thought John was ready, I would have done it. But giving up an analogy with a family member of mine wouldn't have done any fucking good. So I just, again, I wasn't going to let John, when John wanted me to be like, I think I got a drinking problem, but it's 4:00 and I'm at my first beer, right? I don't like, John, you drink every day. It doesn't matter when you stop. Again, that family member of mine, for most of his life, worked. He would work all day, come home and drink like in the evening and throw back at least a 12-pack every fucking night. And then on the weekends, he'd start early. But on Monday through Friday, he didn't drink during the day either. And John thinks because he doesn't drink during the day, he's not an alcoholic, that he's not drinking. Well, he doesn't have a job, but it's not like he's thinking like, I didn't drink on the job. It's like, well, we saw you drink on Stephanie Miller. I don't know if you ever drank on Stern or whatever, but that was also a long fucking time ago. But I see him drinking now, and he's every night, every day, every night, he's fucking drinking and getting fucking hammered. And there's clearly a problem. And I'm not trying to make light of it. But yeah, he thinks that if you don't wake up and have to drink or do drugs 24/7, then you're not an addict. It's like, you can't get through a night without doing it. You got a problem, man.
Immediately, John hears someone go, well, you might have a problem. And he thinks he's being attacked.
Yeah.
I've watched the show Intervention many times. You see this a lot. Could you imagine John having an intervention, his son Oscar pulling out that piece of paper? Dad, your alcoholism has affected my life in the following ways. Nope. I'm not hearing that. You've had such a great year at Harvard, for Christ's sake. Are you fucking kidding? There's no way he's letting anyone read anything or talk.
Right.
Just like he's shutting down Mumbling Nick immediately. When Nick's just like, all right, man, listen, you're not ready for this conversation. I don't need to have it.
You feed it into the narrative. When did this shitwaya get to you?
Right.
This is like the Christopher on The Sopranos intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how well that went?
Not well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're about to see is exactly what you described. This is an intervention. This is what it must be like. And it's the most common thing I heard from people at Hackamania when talking about John was, can you imagine what it must be like trying to argue with him when you're his family? Well, this is what it's like because Nick is reasonable, speaking from experience, and this is the kind of stuff he gets in return.
It's coming from because occasionally I'll do a drinking show. Well, I got news for you. We did drinking shows on Stern too. So was Howard a drunk then?
I don't know about back then, John. I'm not listening, but I just see now.
Okay,
That's
well,
all.
I don't really give a shit about your
Right. Okay.
because you have a mask, and who the fuck are you to talk?
Right. That's
Hey,
fine.
girl, thanks for $2. Boss said, get this boring troll off the show. He's getting close.
It's whatever is convenient for John. So he didn't like what Nick had to say. So now because he's wearing a mask, he's got to go.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Clay Dabbler's mask, you got Corky shades, Ava's tits, all perfectly welcomed on the show. But as soon as the guy goes, you would have a drinking problem.
You got a mask.
Yeah, it's like, fuck
He
you with your
also
mask.
specifically said something that's kryptonite to John that he's not ready for in any way that disarms every argument he makes, which is we're not talking about then, we're talking about now. And he just shut down, and no one gets to say that to him. I'm so glad Nick did.
That was a perfect rebuttal to that. Oh, you're saying that Howard Stern had a drinking problem? I don't know, man. I wasn't watching that. I'm watching you now.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm actually very glad that Carl and Adam picked up on that, because I said it kind of sloppily, but that's exactly what I was saying is, dude, I didn't watch the Howard Stern drinking shows. I'm not talking about random one-off drinking shows, right? My buddy Eckle Pineapple hardly ever drinks, but he's done a couple drinking shows. It doesn't mean he's an alcoholic. I'm talking about now. John going live every night pretty much. And every night he's drinking. I mean, he has to tell you when he had his first beer. I'm just having my first drink now. It's 4:42 p.m. Like, dude, you're an alcoholic. Like, I took opiates every day. It didn't matter when I fucking started. Sometimes I couldn't get them until after work, so I wouldn't take them during the day. I'd take them in the evening. Doesn't mean I wasn't an addict. It's just when I could take them, John. I took them every fucking day that I could, and when I couldn't, I was fucking sick. Like, if John went, 48 hours without drinking, he'd be fucking shaking. He'd be convulsing. It's not good. And this isn't something this came up at the very end of the show. I mean, you guys that watched, I played like a good hour of that live stream. It hadn't come up yet. It comes up towards the end, and I thought we were going to make it through. It's nothing I was going to bring up. I knew it was possible because, I didn't. It was possible John would bring it up himself if he was drinking, or if he was going to do beer math with me or whatever the fuck. But yeah, when I saw her come up, I was like, fuck. I didn't know how to get out of it without enabling, which I refused to do because I wouldn't have been doing him any favors by enabling him. Yeah, goes to the gym. Like, parts of John don't look bad for 60. Like, I know he colors the hair, depending what color it is, but he's got hair for a 60-year-old and shit. I've seen 60-year-olds that look older, but yeah, he's not a fucking stud like he fucking thinks. I don't drink alone. I drink in front of the mirror.
All right, so what's the next clip here?
Listen to the language he uses in saying this.
First of all, 12-pack a day I wouldn't say I drink that. And I also wouldn't say that I get dehydrated because I drink so much fucking water. It's not even funny. Plus, here's my MO, Nick. I'm going to tell you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll put the Yankees on.
We know where this goes.
Yeah.
The
By
Yankees
the way,
defense.
drinking beer during the Yankees game does not count as drinking beer. Like, you can watch 12 innings and then you start drinking. That's beer number one as soon as the final out is recorded.
He's so defensive. He couldn't finish one point. He just keeps moving.
Yeah.
I love that he goes, and I think that's what Adam was picking up on. I love that he goes, I wouldn't say I drink a 12-pack a day. Yeah, I know you don't admit it. Right. I know you wouldn't say it. That's not the point.
Yeah.
This next one is a rhetorical question. Let's see if we can answer it for him.
Okay.
When has me drinking ever had any problem with me with family, any problem with my jobs? When have I ever been fired, reprimanded? Me being a school teacher? When have I ever had a problem? You tell me that and get back to me.
So this part really sucked for me because if you watched, I went through the whole hour plus saying, I don't want to talk about family. And now he wants me to name instances specific examples of how his drinking fucked up his family life. I'm not there to do that. Number one, I'm not in his family. I didn't live with John and his kids or whatever. I don't, coming from a family with an alcoholic father, I'm sure we had similarities, so I could give some examples in my life that probably affected his kids' lives. I could give examples of my addiction and how they affected. Like, addiction always affects family, and it may take a while. As I said, I tell John during this, I kept 2 jobs during my entire addiction, and neither employer was aware for the first few years, but towards the end, they were, and in my mind, I was acting the same, but apparently I was not. I was not looking the same or acting the same, because people started to figure it out, and yeah, it was affecting things. I didn't think they were, but it was. So even if John doesn't think his drinking affected his work or his family life, it absolutely did. But again, it's the Dabbleverse, and I'm not gonna go there. So even if I had specific examples, I wasn't gonna bring him up, so I was kind of stuck. I just wanted him to drop it.
Give me the objective data and get back to me. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Oh, they got me with their legal mumbo jumbo.
The amazing part is, Mumbling Nick was trying to avoid this whole conversation when he just goes, yeah, listen, man, if you're not ready for it, that's how I'm here. It's fine.
Ready for what?
Yeah, I know. He fucking brought himself into this conversation that he's arguing with himself over.
He's talking to his family right now.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't see how alcohol could have affected that list of things that are no longer a part of his life.
Right. Employment, family, children who love you, income.
Possible hygiene. I don't know.
Well, you still have the drinking. You're still doing that. And the other thing has gone away. He doesn't see a correlation, and nobody handles it better than Nick.
I do find you the most interesting. I will tell you that. I think it does take a hit when you leave. It does.
Well, thank you, Nick. And I'm sure we could be friends if we ever hung out. I'm sure we would have a few beers. And, oh, shit, I mentioned beer.
Not me, but yeah.
Oh, so you can't even have beers anymore.
I don't do anything. Yeah.
Oh, so now I get your righteous attitude.
Oh, what a prick.
So that part was funny to me at first when John's like, we can go have a beer, because he feels like I gave him a compliment, and just didn't get the addiction part. Like, again, alcohol was not my drug of choice, and what's funny is a lot of times I actually drank less when I was on drugs. Most people, it's different. They love drinking on pills or whatever. I didn't. I liked how pills made me feel better without the alcohol than with it. Yeah, I went to bars and shit and clubs and stuff with people, so I did drink. But I did drink less. Like, when I wasn't doing drugs, I would hit the bars more. But anyway, yeah, when you get sober, you get sober. Like, I have to be honest. Technically, I'm like 10 years sober. It's been like 14 years since I've done any like pills or drugs, hard drugs. But I did have one beer at a Red Sox game about 10 years ago. I didn't even want it, but I went with it. There was buddies at work. We got tickets. We got like one of those boxes at work, and he's like, I want to have a beer with you, just one beer. And he bugged me all game, and I finally caved at the end. And next day at work, he apologized. I was like, dude, it's me. I did it. So if I hadn't done that, it would be closer to 14 years. But yeah, John, anyway, I'm off track. John doesn't seem to get that, sobriety, man. Yeah, they got something called California sober. I think those people smoke weed and do nothing else, which is whatever. If you can do something that keeps you off the hard drugs, like that's good or whatever. But alcohol was one of my least favorite to begin with, so that wasn't that hard for me to give up, to be honest with you. Oh, Liquid, you have to be sorry, dude. I put this off 8 straight fucking days, bro. I remember I was originally supposed to do it not yesterday, but the Monday before. And yeah, the same life stuff that got in the way of our political show got in the way. And dude, I've been this would be a private conversation with us because we have similar health issues, but I've been so fucking tired lately that there were the nights where I could have done it. I was fucking too tired. Even tonight, I started after 11, and I knew it was late, and everyone was live, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it anyway, even though I know I'm gonna get awful views. But I've had some diehards in here, like Philip's been here the fucking long time, so thank you, sir. But yeah, I've been putting it off so long. I'm like, I just want to do it. And this might be it's got John in the title, so this is the type of thing that might get some reviews. Who knows? My dad complained about you putting it off. Oh, your dad did? That's funny. Yeah, one night I think Jake even like shared it, and I didn't even go live that night either. So I was like, I just want to. I think I'm gonna be on with Echo this Saturday, so like I gotta edit some videos for him. So I just want to get out of the way before I gotta start doing that.
Mumbling Nick has experience with addiction, and John goes, "Yeah, we'd hang out though and drink beers." Oh yeah, no, actually, don't drink beer. Oh, you can't even enjoy the most abused substance on the planet, alcohol? What a pussy you are.
He's gonna start calling him a fag any second.
Right. Oh man.
So this is where.
But isn't it funny that Nick is like the opposite of righteous? He's like, oh, this is what all you guys do. You go to rehab and then you're all fucking righteous and throw it in my face. Nick's been trying to avoid this. And I watched this. This isn't because of how we cut this up or how Adam edited this. This is literally John just arguing with himself over something that Nick would have not brought up one more time. He was like ready to just move on. Like, it's fine, man, whatever.
Yeah, like, look, I'll even be here. I actually didn't go to inpatient rehab. I had outpatient. As I said, I had 2 jobs at the time, same 2 jobs I have now. And as the breadwinner, my family would have been fucked if I went to rehab. The part-time job's landscaping, so I don't get sick days or vacation days, so I wouldn't have gotten any money for that. Do have short-term and long-term disability at my full-time job, but they pay you like 2/3. So I would have got like 2/3 of my pay on my full-time job and none of my pay on my part-time job. It just wasn't going to happen. So I did the outpatient. Thankfully it worked. But yeah, I didn't even go away to rehab, John. I don't talk about my rehab experience hardly. This righteous, I didn't even want to talk about this. So yeah, this righteous, because I won't drink beer, because I dare say John may have a problem. He thinks I have a righteous attitude.
Top, when John brings up alcohol, there's this pause and you hear this loud sigh where Nick goes, ugh, I have to do this. This is my job, or this is just, I'm just going to say it and I'm going to back out, and there's just no backing out with John. That's it. Once you say it,
he doesn't want to enable him. So actually, let's listen to that part again. Listen to this.
Meanwhile, it's 4:56, Nick.
Oh yeah, let me back this up real quick. So this is where I bring up John's alcoholism. I actually found this fascinating because I didn't realize in real time that I sighed. I don't remember sighing, but yeah, I sighed and then said what I said. So that was a real reaction. Knowing I was going to have to address John's alcoholism, and it probably wasn't going to go well.
I'm going to say it and I'm going to back out.
It's fine, man. Whatever.
At the top, when John brings up alcohol, there's this pause and you hear this loud sigh where Nick goes, ugh, I have to do this. This is my job, or this is just, I'm just going to say it and I'm going to back out, and there's just no backing out with John. That's it. Once you say it,
he doesn't want to enable him. So actually, let's listen to that part again. Listen to this.
Meanwhile, it's 4:56, Nick, and so far all I've had is a Monster, a protein drink, and I'm drinking some water.
With Google Play
God
Games, you
damn
can
it.
play Unlocked.
Almost made it.
Unlock bigger screens.
Sorry, guys.
And
Let's see.
But somehow I'm the drunk.
So,
A protein drink and I'm drinking some water.
Let's see.
But somehow I'm the drunk.
so Nick's right there is just going like, that's not any reason why we would think you don't have a problem with alcohol. What are you talking about? You fucking moron.
Yeah. You don't want to enable. You don't want to start a fight. You're
Yes,
you're
it's just like,
lost by getting involved with him to begin with. You've already
Please
lost.
don't bring it up. And of course, John gets very upset when people get sober.
I know.
They always become assholes.
Like on the weekends, not during the week, but during the weekends when Jackie would have a party or I would have a party, Jack and I would pound them. And, it's so odd that when like someone like Jackie or when Rob, as soon as they get sober, they start pointing fingers at you. Look at you. You're a drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm not down with that, John. Like that's why I said I didn't even, don't want to talk about it, don't have to talk about it. It's fine.
I'm sorry. Did Jackie ever try to convert John?
Yeah, so I was just trying to tell John there, like I'm not like, look at you, dumb drunk. Like and I get what's going on with Rob, and I get what's going on with John. Like Rob, this is still new to him. He's a little over 100 days, I believe, and it's a big part of when you first get sober. It's a huge part of your life. You hang out with other people, like if you got group, if you got AA, NA. People from rehab, those are they're big parts of your lives, and that'll slowly dissipate, as people. And Rob will probably keep, a couple, but yeah, it's a big thing right now for Rob, and he needs that support. And if John thinks that's him being righteous, then so be it. But I am long past that. That was many years ago for me. So I usually bring up my addiction like in casual conversations, like here and there, if it fits. I don't do long speeches. I did do one live stream on addiction once to try and see if it would help people, but that's it. I joke about my addiction. I'm at the point where I can joke about it, where I can laugh at some of the awful shit I did. But yeah, John is far, far, far away from there. I don't mean any disrespect to you and your family. I come with nothing but respect, but fuck Stuttering. Oh yeah, man. Just whatever trust me, I'm not John did me dirty. I've seen him do a lot of people dirty. I'm not John's super fan over here by any means. I do have some sympathy for John when it comes to certain things, like addiction, like the way people treat some of his family members, especially his oldest child, stuff like that. So absolutely. But John's done some fucked up shit to people. And he's done far worse to other people than what he did to me. And what he did to me, I'm not a fan of. So yeah. No worries, man. No disrespect at all. You feel how you want to feel about anybody here. It's none of my business. We all have our own things there. You need to talk to Stuttering John like he's a child. Yeah, there's certain. I think my buddy Cryptid here. What was it? 3 different times you said you thought I was gonna get tossed during this. This was the last one. This was the closest. At the end, John doesn't understand addiction because he doesn't understand that he is addicted. Yeah, I'm torn on that. Like I did say earlier, I think deep down inside, subconsciously, John knows, but at the front of his fucking brain is this denial, and it's hard to explain. Like what I'm trying to say is, John's natural reaction is denial that he's not addicted, but I think in his soul, he knows there's something there. Similar to that family member I mentioned, would get very mad if you brought it up, but he knew. But yeah, I think partly with John is because it's beer, which is legal, is his drug of choice. And yeah, he thinks because he doesn't crack open a beer with his cereal in the morning that he's not an addict. And it's just not, it's not the case, Johnny.
The sober guy. I don't remember that episode.
Oh, he was smart enough to just get away from him.
Yes. But those are the only two choices for John. If you're not enabling him, you're trashing him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So if Jackie makes a comment like, oh man, you're still chugging beers, man. We're older guys now. Oh, you're trashing me. Okay.
You misunderstand, Carl. See, John is the only person in the world. So when J.D. Harmeyer holds a job after him, he doesn't like it. It doesn't make sense. When Jackie gets sober, that doesn't feel right to him. That doesn't make sense. It must be, wrong. That must be wrong, and that guy must be the enemy. So you just got to look at it that way.
This next clip is incredible because Nick actually opens up about what his experience has been, and John couldn't be dumber about how addiction works.
By the way, if you're going to say I'm an addict, Shitway smokes weed on every fucking show.
He probably is. John, I just want to say this and we can drop it. Like, I was an opiate addict. I took the shit every day. I kept 2 jobs. I have no idea about your family life. I don't even want to hear about it.
Opiate? Like heroin?
I was more of a oxy pill guy, but yeah.
Okay,
yes,
but that doesn't. Okay. Don't compare the two. That's like Adderall, isn't it?
No. It's
Short answer, no.
oh god, that blew my mind. All right. I know, fucking Adderall, fucking stimulant. Oh my god, John. Yeah, so I didn't say it to John, but have I ever done heroin? Yes. Was I a heroin addict? No. I was, as I said, more of an Oxy guy, more of a Percocet guy. There were times where I couldn't get pills or didn't have money for pills because, believe it or not, heroin's cheaper. And never shot it up, but I did snort it. Never smoked it either. I sniffed it. And that's actually part of when I started getting that one of the reasons that was towards my quote unquote rock bottom, whatever you want to call it. When I started having to grab some heroin towards the end, I was like, I don't know about this. there were other reasons too, but bring it back. Am I missing something? I love this part. John has no idea what real it's. Oh yeah, right. I think this is either this part or the very next clip. Cryptid is. I think that's when he starts talking about how different pills make him feel. So obviously that's how I react to them. That's how everyone reacts. Well, I'll play it and we'll hear how John, if this is the part where how John feels on opiates, and then I'll tell you how I felt on opiates.
Holy shit, he's so sick. How does he not know anything about drugs? Remember when Rob Saul was like, yeah, I was doing Molly. He's like, what the fuck is Molly?
Who's this Molly?
It's a great fucking
How
drug.
does he know
John.
nothing about drugs? But what are opiates, like Adderall? Nick is just like, no.
John is like, let me explain this thing to you. Hold on. Let me take a brief moment for you to explain to me what we're talking about. Okay, great.
Yes.
Now I can get back to teaching you what this is. He has no idea.
So John's whole thing is your addiction to whatever you were addicted to. Sure, you can hold down 2 jobs because everyone who's on opiates can do that. That's not a problem at all. But John wants to say if he really was an alcoholic, there's no way he'd be able to stream for 2 hours a day and make a fool of himself. So obviously he's not an addict.
No, it's not even.
Okay,
totally 2 different drugs.
Okay. Well, here is my experience, Nick, when they gave me oxycodone for my wrist. I couldn't sleep all night. I was up and I was very attentive. So yes, you could hold a job being on something like oxycodone because you don't feel. Now, look at alcohol. Sorry, you saw me on some of my drunk streams. If I do 7 or 8 beers, there's no fucking way I can do a job. Sorry.
So in summary, your addiction is child's play compared to my addiction. I win again. Wait, what did I just admit to?
Yeah.
What a fucking idiot.
Because I'm not fit to hold a job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Haven't you seen me humiliate myself on the internet? Yeah. I get so fucked up. I can't do shit.
I can't believe he just said that.
He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just trying to win an argument now.
All right. So a couple quick stories. Or not stories, but explanations here. Obviously, people feel different. Like my brother, one time at work, somebody gave him a fucking like a 7.5 milligram Vicodin, and he threw up. Meanwhile, I'm popping like multiple perk fucking 30s at once just to fucking feel something. You know what I mean? It's different naturally. Then your tolerance affects things, and your tolerance builds and builds and builds. And trust me, John, the way you felt off of whatever one pill, like the number of pills I was taking it's sad. I even lied to my doctor when I went to fucking started outpatient because I was embarrassed with how much I was taking. And here's another example. Suboxone was something I used to help get sober. And I had somebody took like half of one of my Suboxone pills, and they felt great. They had all this energy, and they thought that's how I felt. And I'm like, no, I'm an addict. They make me not sick. That's what they do. I feel normal. You may feel great because you don't have an addiction. So where you are in your addiction, your natural body chemistry, your tolerance, all of that affects how you feel. And trust me, John, you get to a point where you're not taking opiates to get high. You're taking them not to be sick. You're taking them to feel normal. A lot of times less than normal, just not awful. You just don't want to feel awful. And it's not easy working when you feel like shit. It's none of that's easy. It's again, I pulled it off for a while, and I never lost the jobs, but part of it was because I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit. I was a good worker and a good guy, so I got some leeway at the end, and I got leeway when I got the outpatient. You know, obviously I had to miss some work for even some of the outpatient, and my boss worked with me. If I was an asshole or a shitty worker, that wouldn't have happened. But, yeah, just because you felt a certain way taking pills for a week because of your wrist doesn't mean that's how someone who took them for 8 fucking straight years feels. It's totally different. And someone who's an alcoholic can build up a tolerance where, yeah, they can probably drink during the day and get away with it. Unfortunately, and I'm not joking here, I think John may have liver issues, which is why he seems to get intoxicated quicker than you'd think. Either one of two things. Either he's drinking a lot more before he starts streaming than he's letting us on, which is possible, or there's that liver condition where it's not filtering because he's damaged already, so he's getting drunk quicker. Because he gets buzzed quick for a guy that drinks that much. Like no doubt. And I guess that's why he must think that someone on opiates gets super fucked up and can't work. It's like, dude, no, you get to the point where you're only addicted to heroin. Yeah. Heroin and the other opiate there, Adderall. Do you know the backstory of what happened with Artie and his so-called trying to kill himself? I've heard it talked about. I haven't. He drank bleach, correct? Or did he drink a little bleach? Because obviously, if he drank a lot of, I don't remember enough. I know I've heard it talked about a couple times on the streams.
John has organ failure. So yeah, that's okay. The heart failure, but yeah, yeah. That's why there's definitely, I not definitely, but I agree with you. I feel there's something going on there, which is why he gets buzzed so quick. Artie was so high that he thought if he cut himself badly, he would be able to get some sleep. Holy shit. Yeah, I know some of the Artie story. I mean, I've seen how fucked up his nose is because he accidentally snorted that fucking glass with his pills or whatever. Yeah, dude, it's amazing. Some of the things you do and feel. Like I've told some stories. Like I've dropped pills on a public bathroom floor. Is there a dirtier place than the public men's room floor? And I still took them. I tried to clean them as best I could with paper towels and fucking swallow them. That's not rational. That's not normal. That's fucking gross. It's absolutely disgusting. But it was that or be sick. Dope sick. And dope sick is one of the worst feelings in the world that I've ever had. And I'm sure alcohol withdrawals are no fucking picnic either, since those can fucking kill you. Opiate withdrawals, you wish you were dead. Alcohol withdrawals, you actually could be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He doesn't even realize what he's arguing for anymore. And the fact that, like, I mean, opiate addiction is pretty awful. It's very scary for people.
Where would you have heard anything about this?
The fact that John's just like, oh, anyone can do that.
Yeah, anyone can hold two jobs.
Just the fact that he's like, it affects my body this way, so obviously it affects everybody the same way, you dumb fuck. Like,
Right.
you're experiencing it wrong, you fucking loser.
Yeah, so there's more deflection here from John.
It was, there's no way anybody could function being drunk and do that. And then you got to go to rehearsal with Jay, all the other writers involved with the bits, the executive producer, and like, I mean, there's no fucking way. Then you go upstairs to your office, start watching the clips that the research department put together, and then you got to go home and watch them. And if I had the kids that night, I would have to make.
I mean, what kills me is I even told him earlier, I'm talking about right now, John. I'm not talking about when you were on Howard Stern. I'm not talking about when you were on Jay Leno. I'm talking about right now. You clearly have a problem. Yes, you obviously had a problem, most likely during the Leno days too, but I didn't witness his drinking habits every day back then like I witness them now. And he's just trying to come up with every excuse why he's not an alcoholic. Like I said, I knew he wasn't ready for this discussion. And yeah, Adam and this got clipped a few times. And by the way, Cryptid, you missed it, but I was watching your hour plus clip of this up until this part, and then I stopped it, and then because I want to hear, like, I thought Adam and Carl did a good job breaking this part down, the addiction part. So this is how we're ending it. But yeah, out of the, what the fuck was I just saying? God damn it. I lost my train of thought. I threw Cryptid a fucking yo, and then I fucking forgot what I was saying. What the fuck was I just saying? I almost want to rewind it. Cryptid, what the fuck was I just saying? Oh yeah. I was saying I'm not talking to John about back then. I'm talking about now, how I witness it now. John just keeps trying to deny that he ever had a fucking problem, that he has a problem, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember where I was going with that. Fuck this.
Make him dinner and everything else. There's no fucking way. You know what I mean? Thank you. Loose cunt.
Say it again.
Bundle and save on
Bundle
insurance.
and
The
save.
Libbity bibbity.
Libbity bibbity.
Swoons. Such majestic birds.
Looks like my friend Chris. I
What?
got a pretty
Only pay for
pretty
what you
boyfriend
need.
named Chris. It's just like that. Fucking Christ.
So John's whole thing is
Yeah,
obviously
I
I'm not an
know.
alcoholic because I had a job on the Tonight Show for 10 years. Meanwhile, Jimmy Fallon's the host of his. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But Dr. Drew has talked about how he's met hundreds of guys who are raging alcoholics and very successful.
Yeah, totally functional.
He's met me.
Yeah.
I was on a show with Shuli that one time. But it's very possible
shit.
to have a problem with substance and also have a job and make it through your day and get by. And John just claims like, well, no, if I was an alcoholic, I'd be blackout drunk at 9 a.m. Then how would I do my job? It's called pacing yourself, John.
I learned from John.
It's called
There you go.
Stop chugging.
Right.
Every addict has an idea of what a real addict is, and it's very specific, and it's always some severe cartoon version. And until they reach that point of like waking up in the morning and then immediately taking a shot that's waiting for them by their bed, they're not an alcoholic.
Yeah, but then they move the goalposts. They're like, well, I'm not mixing cocaine in it like Stevie Ray
Right.
Vaughan, so it can't be that bad.
Because just for the record, this fucking guy, Nick, had the audacity to say, as a former addict, you might have a problem. And since then, John has said, J.D. Harmeyer, Jackie, Shuli, The Tonight Show, I had kids, there are editors, there's a schedule. Like, he just won't stop.
Yeah, and he continues to school Mumbling Nick on how drugs work. Again, John is like a 7-year-old the way he describes drugs.
I would, like all the writers would have like a cup of coffee, and that stimulates the brain as opposed, that's, it's more of an amphetamine than it is a barbiturate, if you understand what those two terms mean.
Yes, I know what they are. Yeah.
So, caffeine will stimulate you, as opposed to alcohol that will make you sleepy and lethargic. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Gaslighting douchebag Nick. Well, with Stuttering John leaving, who should be the new Dabble Lowell cow?
I don't care. I
I love that. Whatever you say.
Yeah.
The beginning of this interview, John goes, Mumbling Nick, where are you from? He's like, Massachusetts. It's like, how do you not know that? You listen to this guy talk? But yeah.
So that part fucking cracked me up. It's like explaining coffee to me and fucking beer, comparing coffee to a fucking oh shit, hey Shammy. How we doing? Yeah, comparing coffee to a fucking amphetamine. Yes, they're both. It's both stimulants, John. But coffee, number one. When someone gets sober, they usually replace their addiction with something else. I became a coffee addict. Like I drink way less. I drink 2 coffees a day now. Is what I'm down to. And with my heart valve issues, I should probably get down to 1 cup at some point. But yeah, I was drinking mad coffee when I got sober. Not saying that was good, but it was a lot better than what I was doing before that. But yeah, John, he's basically look, these guys drank coffee in the writer's room, and these guys did that. They're addicts too. It's like, I'm talking about you, John. I don't know these fucking guys. Sure, they could have been addicted to coffee. I don't know. I mean, he brings up Shuli and his fucking weed. Is Shuli a pothead? Yeah, seems that way. He seems like he'll admit it. He's probably addicted to weed. It's just, luckily for him, that's not that being addicted to weed is great. I mean, it's definitely not good for your lungs and shit in your throat. But in my opinion, it's a lot better than being addicted to alcohol or opiates. You don't get the fucking withdrawals. You're not gonna die if you fucking don't smoke weed. You're not gonna get dope sick. Yeah, you probably feel off, but not gonna be. What's up, nasty one? How we doing? Could you avoid the 120 OC? Oh boy. All right. So obviously my addiction, like I said, went on for 8 years, but at the end, the final years, I had 3 main dealers, right? And obviously you had one-off dealers too. You had emergency people you could go to. Hanging out with other addicts, they had their dealers. I had mine. So, but anyway, my 3 dealers were all middle-aged to older women, which is fucking hilarious to look back on. There was an old couple that lived on my street. They were both prescribed pills, especially the husband, but the wife sold them. And they had the green 15s. They were the perk 30s were the blues with no aspirin. The 15s were green with no aspirin. And I love the stuff with no aspirin. Like, I'm actually worried about my liver because I took so much Tylenol during those 8 years. Because, I was good with the oxys, good with the perk 30s, but I also had a lot of perk 10s, which the ones that had the fucking, not the little ones, the ones that had the fucking Tylenol in them. And that ain't good for your liver, especially with the number I was taking. But yeah, they had perks and they had oxys. Sometimes they had the 80s. I think 80 is as high as I ever got. I don't think I ever did a 120. But yeah. Oh, you're liquid cryptid. Okay. Yeah, I never got that up there, but yeah, I think 80 was the biggest I did. I also had another female who was a pothead, and she's the one that got the perks with the Tylenol in them. They were the 10s, and she also had morphine. I wasn't the biggest fan of the morphine, but many times, that's all I could get. So. And then there was the crackhead lady, who was actually a very nice lady, but she was addicted to crack. And she could get oxys from somebody else, a dealer, but she also had perks of her own. And I was such a trusting drug addict, she used to front me Percocets. She knew when I got paid bi-weekly. And she would fucking message me and be like, hey, I know you don't get paid until next week, but I got my script. Do you want it? Yep. She'd bring it to me. And then when I got paid, she showed up at work on my lunch break and I'd have to give her fucking hundreds of dollars. So I was already in the hole when I got paid. Yeah, pills are very expensive. Very expensive. And like I said, that's why a lot of people turn to the heroin at some point because it's cheaper. Believe it or not, and the feeling lasts longer. I used to tell this joke that I did fentanyl before it was cool. I did pharmaceutical fentanyl during my addiction before it became this big epidemic. They came in patches. They were 72-hour patches that like terminal cancer patients or people with unbelievably chronic pain that are going to die would pretty much wear these fucking patches on their arm, and it would supposedly slowly release the fentanyl for 72 straight hours into their body. And I remember the first time I bought them, the dude who's a tattoo artist I knew, and he's like, in the patches is a gel, and that's what goes in your body. Cut the patch open, eat a little bit of the gel, get high. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just wear it. So I wore it, and I got impatient. Like a bunch of hours went by, and I didn't really feel like I felt much. And so I cut it open, and I ate the gel. Anyway, I ended up eating all 72 hours worth in one day. And holy shit, I kept slipping in and out of consciousness. I was fucking puking. I don't know if it was technically an overdose. Like, it wasn't like an overdose, but I was close, man. Like I said, I kept slipping in and out of consciousness. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was blacking out. I was puking. It was bad. And yeah, The gel tastes terrible, by the way. Fucking terrible. I guess that's why you're supposed to let it absorb in your arm instead of eating it.
Yeah, that is a very funny thing where John explains that caffeine is a stimulant, and oxys are just like Adderall, right?
A barbiturate.
That was so fucking funny. He's so stupid. Now, should the writers not be drinking coffee at the Leno show?
Yeah, let me give this stipulation. Sorry, I didn't take all 72 hours worth at once, but I took it all in that first day. I had it on my arm for probably like 4 hours or something, and so whatever. And then I ate some. What's funny is there's not a lot of gel in there, so you don't think it's gonna go for, but it's fentanyl. I didn't know what fentanyl was at the time. I didn't know like how strong it was. And yeah, if I didn't have the tolerance that I had already, I probably definitely would have been in the hospital. It probably would have been an overdose. If I didn't already have a big tolerance at the time. Yeah, it was. I lucked out. I never had an overdose where they had to like start my heart back up. I had the fentanyl thing, and I had a seizure on pills where I had so many pills that I literally was blacking out. I was walking around my apartment, and I'm in the living room. The next thing I know, I'm in one of my kids' rooms, and I'm like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" And I knew I had taken too many, and I was trying to keep moving. And next thing I know, I'm coming to. I hear this chatter, and I'm in a fucking ambulance. And I guess at some point I started seizing on my couch. You kind of black out during a seizure, which I learned during the seizure. When I finally came out of the seizure, like literally the paramedics were trying to like stick me with something, like some kind of IV thing, like still in my apartment, trying to get me on the gurney there. And I got off the gurney and ripped the fucking IV out of my arm, left the living room, and just sat on my bed. I don't remember any of this shit. This was all told to me later on. But yeah, so those are like my two overdoses, but they're not your true overdose where your heart stops beating. It was going unconscious and having a seizure. Those are my big stories, I guess. I got other stories, but those are my too many drugs at that point. But hey, bro, that's the past, and this is there. Now yeah. No, I'm good, man. It's been so long. It's very easy for me to talk about now. Like I don't, for many years, I don't remember what these things even feel like anymore. Like you used to always have, even for years, you have in your back of your head, I know what an oxy feels like. I know what perk feels like. I know what heroin feels like. I don't really. I could probably just vaguely describe it to you, but I don't have that internal feeling of what it even feels like anymore. So, and yeah, now as Cryptid knows, I got heart valve issues, so I probably did that way back then, and I'm catching up to me now. But it is what it is. I'm still here, and yeah. Nasty Neil. Are the rumors true? You don't have to answer this, by the way. I didn't know if someone was just busting balls in a chat I was in, or if it's true. Are you and Sunflower Dragon an item? I know she was coming to visit, but is there a little more to this visit than platonic friendship? That was the rumor in the chat. Again, you don't have to answer. But yeah, if you did, nice, man. Good job. Good for you. I don't remember who said it, but I think I shouldn't say. But yeah, if it's true, I guess it doesn't matter. I think our buddy Sam Bibley was like seconding it. So I was like, Sam's usually pretty honest. I like Sam, but he's also like a prankster. So I didn't know if he was just doing one of his little jokes or if it was true or not. So yeah, good for you, man. All right. Almost done here. Let's finish this off.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Because it's a drug. All right, one more clip on here. And John, sometimes when you make an argument, he actually says
Oh, she's up already, dude. Nice. I didn't know she was here yet. That's awesome.
the truth. He says the quiet part out loud. And sometimes he catches himself, sometimes he doesn't.
I was more of a social drinker anyway. I got too into the drugs, yeah. But yeah, I mean, drinking. If I drank too early, I got tired and I would fall asleep too early. Every time.
That's the whole, and that's the other point. Like, you don't want to do that either. Like, which is why I'm not drinking right now.
No,
because there's no way I would never make it to the game.
Yeah, I got you.
Because just like you, I would get tired, and then it doesn't. Hence, that's why there's no way I could ever work. And drink. There's no way. It's just impossible. I mean, I'm just being honest, man.
Yep.
Yeah, for once you are. Yeah. John literally said, that's why I'm not drinking right now.
I'm unemployable.
He goes, it makes you sleepy. That's why I'm not drinking right now. Otherwise, I'd be pounding beers.
He's a social drinker who drinks alone at home every night.
But it's during the Yankees game. It's okay.
Well, good job, Mumbling Nick, for speaking truth to power. Well done.
Very well done, Mumbling Nick. I just have one more clip. We have a lot more John stuff. I have the 911.
Yeah, but I'm not in that last clip. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Adam. I do got to say, Adam and Carl have been very good to me over the last year or two. Clipping some of my stuff I'm involved in and posting it in there. And I appreciate it with the compliments. Yes, you can speak to some of the diction and be a better person with your story. Yes, I've actually, obviously I can't name names, but I've helped out a couple people in the Dabbleverse. Which is, they saw my my addiction stream, and so I'm happy with that. Like I said, mine's been so long now that I don't talk about it every day, and I'm not knocking Rob for talking about it every day. He's still in that zone where it's still new, like I said. So it's good that he talks about it every day, keeps it on his mind. He's still in that, he's doing awesome, but he's still in that danger zone. So, I'm glad it's, he's got his group and he's got everything. And he's not, I forget, what word did John call me? Not righteous. Was it righteous? I can't remember. My righteous attitude. Maybe it was righteous. So Rob is not righteous. He's doing what he's got to do. He's got to stay sober. Like I said, that's his life right now. And eventually he should get to a comfortable spot where it's a lot easier. Yes, self-righteous. Thank you, Nasty Neil. Yeah. My self-righteous attitude, because I don't drink anymore. John can buy me a sody pop. Buy me a water. I think I caught that. I caught the very end of that stream. I'd rather him lash out at me and strike me than turn on the bottle. Yeah. I haven't seen Rob. I caught the very end of that stream you're talking about the other day, but that's it for like the past week. I know he got, I don't know the whole issue. I should ask you, Neil. I know there was something with striking people or something because he was having a bad day, bad moment. I don't know. But yeah, I hope he's doing well again. And he's got the nasty one as his co-host, so me and Rob on earlier was fun. Yeah, it's always a good show, a fun show. I love Rob. I don't agree with everything Rob does. Like I said, I've told him before. I'm not, and he does this a lot less, going after people's wives and girlfriends, but he still does it a little bit. I'm not into that, and I'm not into striking. But other than that, Rob's a good dude. The final boss, leveling up in the Dabbleverse. I've seen that clip. Neil, why ain't you watching Tommy? Maybe they had a falling out. The Who's Tommy? Tommy the Who. He's out of the Tommy business. Tommy was fighting with the pineapple earlier today in his chat. I saw that. Eckel had on Buckman today. It was I gotta watch the second half. I was at work, so I only caught bits and pieces of it, and then after work I watched the first half while I was walking through the grocery store. I was listening to the first half, but I still gotta watch the second half. But yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was a pretty interesting conversation. We talked, and we had the first big. He had his first big stress since being sober, and yeah, those happen. All right, I'm glad he got through it. Those are the real tests when you're first sober, and then you certain moments arise where you normally, especially if you're a drinker, like, look, I'm not gonna lie, as an opiate addict, it wasn't like, I'm having a stressful day, I'm gonna take extra. I took it every day. Drinks, you reach for extra when you're stressed out. So yeah, it's a dangerous combo. Like baseball, he's a goofball. Final boss is trying to get Nasty Neil back together with no. Sure plays a mean pinball. Tommy's a pinball wizard, right? Right. Neil, do you wish him the best in his future endeavors? Like our buddy Jake Husden? The final boss. I felt like an idiot. Final boss, I don't know if I told you this. I didn't notice until was it 2 weeks ago that you had an extra E in your name? Somehow that slipped by me for like 2 years. Jake took that from WWE. Oh, did he really? Did somebody used to say that in wrestling? Wish you well in your future endeavors. Jake was hilarious. He added me and a couple other people to some fucking I thought it was his group, but I guess it's it's Ray DeVito's X group. And Jake's giving people shit for adding people, but he added me. It's like, and he added other people. It's like, Jake, can't have it both ways, bro. And so was geez, man. Yeah, that makes sense. Final boss is, I lucked out. There weren't too many Mumbling Nicks. The only reason Mumbling Nick's taken is because I have it. And OG Mumbling Nick, I have that one too. I didn't have no common shit. Yeah, I know I'm in that group here and well. Yeah, dude, dude, I'm sure you have too, Final Boss. Jake has his own groups, and I've been in so many of those, then he gets mad at me and I get kicked out. So I thought he was just adding me to another one of his groups. And I was like, all of a sudden I have like 1,000 fucking updates on my DM. I'm like, who the fuck is DMing me 1,000 times? It's the most active fucking group I've been in yet. Holy shit. I don't even know what the fuck's going on in there. I don't even think Ray knows me. Like, I never watch Ray. So I know most of the people in there, it seems, but I don't think, I don't really know Ray well. So it's kind of weird. Jake's is, yeah, he does that too much. Sorry, I'm an idiot. He does that too. What is worse is being a junkie when you're 40-year-old and you look at your life and say, what the fuck happened to my life after you get sober? Yeah, I'm in my 40s. I got sober in my 30s, thankfully, I guess. I'll always have that. Yeah, dude, I gotta turn it off. It's fucking insane. Insane. All right. What is it? Holy shit, 2:22. I gotta go to. What happened? Okay. All right, we'll be wrapping this up. We're over the 3-hour mark. Holy shit! I didn't even get to the Grillo stuff, but it's getting too fucking late. It was all Stuttering John. Actually, did cover the Grillo Jerry stuff. Yeah, I am. Like I said, no guarantees, but I am hoping to get Vegas Beer Sales Jerry on at some point. It is. I'm not saying it's definitely not a shoe on, but it is a possibility. Um, I think he, or I'm hoping, I think he wants to address some of the accusations against him, and I've definitely given the floor for that. So, just to get his version of things. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I can't sing for shit. Neil's way out of my range. Godfather of grunge. Young Neil. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. This was fun. Finally, after 8 days of putting this off, finally went over my long-awaited, for me, not for you guys, for me, appearance on the Stuttering John podcast. Only took me 2 years to get on there. 2 years. Yeah, I just basically wanted to explain why I said the certain things. And there were certain points in there where I was trying to say something. John cut me off, and then I never got back to it. But, overall, I was happy with the appearance. Obviously, there were some parts I could have done better and wish I'd done better. But it could have gone worse. And I was happy that I pushed back on John when I disagreed. And I was happy that when I agreed with him, I agreed with him. And I tried to be honest throughout the whole thing. The alcoholism addiction part was the big uncomfortable moment because it was the one topic I didn't really want to get into, but I had a feeling it would come up, and it came up at the end. Thank you, Neil. Yes, I've actually gotten way more compliments than anything else. I appreciate that, but from a bunch of people, even the famous 5 house that I finally won him over by how I handled John or whatever. But I've also seen certain comments where there were people. It was kind of similar to when I had Joey C on the first time. A lot of people thought it was great because I just let Joey talk, and he said some funny shit. But other people thought I should have boom, gone after him. And what I said back then was look, if Cryptid and I asked Joey complicated political questions that we all know he doesn't know the answer to, that the average person doesn't know the answer to, what good is that? What good is asking Joey something he shouldn't know the answer to? Just let Joey talk. Let him cook. And that's what we did. And with the John situation, if I went after him and got booted off after right away, it's not what I wanted. And as I said earlier, the other big thing is, for 2 years, trolls told John I was this bad person that was going to attack him and do awful shit to him. Well, a bunch of people stuck up for me and told him to have me on. So if I went after John, I would have proved the trolls right and fucked over the nice people that vouched for me. And I was never going to do that. So it was never going to happen. And it's not my style anyway. And I just, my style is honestly to try and be as honest as possible. And I'm pretty even keeled for the most part. Again, I have my moments. I think Liquid Krypton and I did 51 streams. We probably yelled at each other twice, and that was in the heat of battle. It wasn't personal. I infamously snapped on Jake Hudson for 30 seconds once, so obviously I can be gotten to, but overall I'm usually pretty calm. And that's what I was trying to do there. So, hit the like button. I always forget to say that. I finally broke 400. I think I'm at 401 subs, so 99 to go before that magic 500 number. I'm streaming less these days, so it's probably going to take a long time, but it was nice to break 400. Anyway, yeah, you guys can catch me here at OG Mumbling Nick on YouTube and on X. I used to do a weekly political show, Liquid Cryptid, on Sundays, and we still will be doing that sporadically. It's just we don't know when. So if you sub, you can look out for that. It's interesting. It's I promise you, it's a lot better than John's political show, where we actually have differences of opinion when we do it. But yeah, we used to do it weekly, and then time scheduling started getting in the way, and also sometimes we tried to be topical, and there were times where like, oh, what's the big political story? Tariffs. All right, that's a boring conversation. So now we're just gonna do it when we have both of us have the time, and there is a topical topic that we want to discuss. But yeah, look out for that. Check out Liquid Cryptid's channel. I will be on with Echo Pineapple this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the first time in like a month, maybe more than a month. It's been a while since I've been on his stream. And I'll be doing pop-ups here and there, some political, some Dabbleverse. Unfortunately, with my current life happenings and schedule, I can't really commit to a time and day and time like everyone else does. Like I said, I was supposed to do this 9 p.m. on last Monday, and I finally got to it 8 days later after 11 p.m. So, unfortunately, I'm going to go live whenever I can and feel like it. And that's an asshole thing to do and say, but that's pretty much where I'm at. But I do it for fun. And anyone who wants to, I appreciate you guys showing up. That's amazing. If anyone wants to show up, anyone wants to come on, got something they want to say, just message me. Yeah, it's going to be very laid back from here on out, very sporadic. But anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Hey, ladies of the Dabbleverse, I'm good at eating pussies.
Mumbling Nick in the back room, Clary. Cool pineapple rules, too strength to bear. It's the Z-Said Kid, you've got some flair. Time to break the chains and take the air. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No more scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Nick's voice stumbles, but the words ignite. In the chaos, truth takes flight. No scripts, no boss in sight. He's got his dream, he'll do it right. I will try my best, won't let it rest. With a mic in hand, I'll ace this test. From the shadows to the limelight's crest, I will try my best. Yeah, I'll try my best. Interviews roll, stories unfold. Mumbling no more, his voice turns bold. Mr. C cheers from the sidelines cold. Echo pineapple left in the cold. Now the studio's his, the future bright. Nick's own podcast is guiding light. No more whispers, his tone takes flight. He's soaring now with all his might. Yeah!
Taz, if you want me to go down on you, I will. I'll try my best.